Permian was hosting the Plano Wildcats out of the Metroplex, and that game was delayed somewhat for weather, but they were able to get it in with Permian pulling that win off. And before we get anywhere else, I need to say something to a couple of three people here. Hello to Landry and McKenzie, who are listening down in San Angelo. Thank you for listening. And also to Michaela in Central California. Thank you for tuning in also. And we have other folks that we know are listening in. We'll get you all in as the game goes. Ben?
I'm just so excited that it's football season right now. We're going to get down into the X's and O's, but let's just take this moment to just enjoy. We are in the fall. It's the dog days of summer are over, and just like these players out on the field, they're ready to go out there and start hitting some other people.
Anybody, but they'd hit us if we could get away with it. But we're going to talk a little bit about Western New Mexico University, just a beautiful campus and a beautiful community, and they've got a Blake's Lauderburger, which puts them way up there on my deal for the green chili cheeseburger.
Absolutely.
Founded in the territory of New Mexico on February 11th, 1893 as the New Mexico Normal School. That's what they called teaching schools in that time. The school began to offer classes September 3rd, 1894, and it's a public school. Silver City, New Mexico is located in the southwest corner of New Mexico. Their closest metropolitan area they call is Phoenix.
Yeah.
And we've taken that trip out there, and it is a long trip on the bus. And their colors are royal purple and gold, and their nickname is the Mustangs, and we love Silver City going there. We never get enough time to enjoy all the amenities of Silver City, but Western New Mexico, just a beautiful place to go if you ever get a chance. They got a great stadium, great gym, just good folks out there in southwest New Mexico.
Beautiful little town, too.
Oh, it
really
is. It is. It's worth the trip. In the series history here between the Mustangs and the Falcons, it has been 6-2 in favor of the Falcons, and it's one of the few series leads that we have in the conference. And last year we played them towards the end of the season, November 4th, 2023, and UTPB won 56-3, and it really wasn't very close.
Yeah, it wasn't even that close.
But Western New Mexico gave a valiant effort. We just had too many horses for them, so to speak. So last year the Western New Mexico Mustangs were 2-8 on the season. And again, the Falcons were 10-2 and won the Lone Star Conference Championship. Next week, just as a little precursor, we're going on the road, and we're going to be playing Colorado State University Pueblo, and they won against South Dakota Mines. Of course, they're both Rocky Mountain Athletic Conference schools. They're in our region. It's very important that we play schools in our region when we're not in conference, because that helps our regional rankings. That's how you're determined in Division II whether you make the playoffs. You got to make the top 8 in the region. But CSU Pueblo beat South Dakota Mines 35-6. So their next game, Ben and I will be in Pueblo, Colorado next Saturday. I think it's 7 o'clock Central kickoff time.
Yes, exactly. And, we're talking about last year's game, and I think we're going to get into this in a little bit, but don't let last year's Mustang team cloud your vision on this year's team. These are different teams. Ton of sophomores on this team this year.
A lot of transfers, and the portal has done that. It has not only with the JUCO, like traditional transfers, but transfers from D1s and all. Most of the starting defense is gone now from Western New Mexico, so we're not really sure what we're getting. They changed defensive coordinators, so it's going to be a little bit of a coin flip to see what's going to happen. And then on the offense, we're actually going to see the Western New Mexico quarterback from last year is now the quarterback at Colorado State Pueblo. And they changed offensive coordinators. So, and Coach Chris McCullough told us during his coaches show, which, by the way, broadcasts on 95X every Thursday night at 6:30 p.m. and then a video of it is done on Fox 24 at 9:30 p.m. If you want to see it live from the studio, a repeat of it from the radio studio. Coach McCullough said, we're not sure what we're going to get.
Yeah.
He thinks the first quarter is going to be a bit of a pushing and shoving match, kind of like a boxing match, feeling out to see what's going on. And they've tried to get film of the coordinator's previous teams. They tried to get film of where the players were before, just to try to get an idea of who and what they were dealing with.
Yeah, and that's all you can do. So exactly like we said, that's what we expect to happen as well. The first quarter might be a little bit tight, and then I think the Falcons are going to start running away with things.
Hopefully. That is the plan. That is the plan. So let's do this. Let's take one more break, the final break of the pregame show, and then we'll come back as we got the captains lined up to go out on the field. This is 95X's presentation of Texas Permian Basin Falcon football.
Kickoff to the 2-minute warning. HEB has all you need to make your tailgate a touchdown. For the starting lineup, HEB's freshly made guacamole and salsas are a delicious play. And for meat lovers, HEB Prime 1 steaks and burgers are a sizzling way to get your grill on. Plus, pick up the extras like HEB's Our Finest paper towels, Texas Tough trash bags and foil. From food to snacks to defensive sacks, tailgating is a win with HEB.
It's overused, abused, taken for granted. The word free. At First Basin, when we say free checking with instant issue debit card, we stand behind it. So if you're like me, and well, no one really is, it might be good to see if your bank is hiding the word fee in free. Time for a new bank? You're going to like coming in first. First Basin Credit Union. Experience superpower.
Member NCUA and Equal Housing Lender.
Lightning, cold weather, heat waves, and windstorms happen when least expected. The Bosworth Company and Kohler are committed in keeping your home or business comfortable and running. Never run out of power with the Kohler generator. It comes with a 5-year, 2,000-hour warranty, and it powers on automatically within seconds of an outage. Call the Bosworth Company now at 432-570-5233. Worth the call, always.
License number TACLA 16845C.
Our compassionate same-day care, precision diagnostics, and cutting-edge treatments make it easy to choose the orthopedic and sports medicine experts at Basin Orthopedic Surgical Specialists. As the official team doctor of the Falcons, we provide the most advanced orthopedic treatments to keep our student athletes on the field. Please visit Basin Orthopedic Surgical Specialist for all your orthopedic care.
Captains for your Fighting Falcons, number 0, Malik Allen. Number 1, Jalen Rockmore. Number 3, Dylan Graham. And number 13, Gunnar Absett.
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen, at Ratliff Stadium in Odessa, Texas. Monty Montgomery and Ben Farmer here to bring you Texas Permian Basin Falcon football inaugural game of the 2024 season, opening up for the first time in the history of the program with an August game, as Ben pointed out, and with a conference opponent. And right now we've got the captains on the field, and the captains for the Western New Mexico Mustangs, Ben, I'll give you these, are number 5.
Number 5 is Gabriel Levy.
Number 22
is Clayton Zentner.
Number 55
is Q Teu.
And I've got a situation where I can't see the last one, and they're wearing white jerseys with the gold numbers, and they're very hard to read. For the Falcons, it's going to be, what does he call? He
said the Falcons have, or the Mustangs won, they're
toss.
deferring, and so the Falcons will have the ball first.
Captains for the Falcons, 0, Malik Allen, 13, Gunnar Absett, number 1, Jalen Rockmore, and number 3, Dylan Graham. And that final is 0. 0 is the final captain for Western New Mexico.
That is Preston Helu.
So that is the captains, and the Falcons are going to lost the toss, and they will be receiving. The Falcons will be going right to left on your dial. We're on the west side, so right to left is south to north. When I say near side, I'm talking about the home side. Far side is the east side. And we got a little different scenario here this year too, folks. We are simulcasting with the feed. The last couple of years we've been doing the feed solely at home, and then on the road we were doing the audio. Now we're going to be doing, we're on terrestrial radio. We're on 95X. That's 95.1 here if you're in Midland, Odessa. 95xlive.com if you've got folks that want to listen to the audio only. That's the way to do that, to listen to Ben and me. And then also, we are going to be describing this for you viewers, TV viewers. We're describing a radio broadcast, so don't get alarmed when I'm talking about motion. You're going, what's wrong with this guy? We can see it with our own eyes. And so we're going to be calling that. So we're going to be a little more detailed for TV than maybe you're used to.
Well, and a difference this year on the TV side, too. We're broadcasting through Flow Sports, whereas we've been broadcasting through the Lone Star Conference Network. So everything new all of a sudden this year. The one update that we didn't get is they still didn't get me a telestrator, and I'm just very grumpy about that.
Well, you know, we can get you an Etch-a-Sketch, and you can play with it all you want, and then we'll hold it up to the camera if you'd like, and that'll work out really well, Ben.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, good times. All right, here we go, and it's going to be the kicker. That is number 49. Those numbers are really difficult to see.
Impossible. It's Jose Perez. 49 is listed as a Jose Perez as a linebacker.
Well, that's terrific. Obviously, I didn't see the number right. And there it is. He's going to kick off from the 35 to the south, and that's going to be received by the Falcons, and it's going to be a touchback. That's going to be number 2 for the Falcons.
It's probably Traylon Sewell out there.
Traylon Sewell. And so it'll be 1st and 10 for the Falcons from their own 25-yard line.
All right, let's go north.
Going north. Falcons go right to left on your radio dial. There's virtually no breeze here. In the years past, we've got a little swirling wind sometimes here towards the south end zone, but the flag is just hanging limp. So we've got 3 wide receivers the far side, 1 of the near side. Brock Johnson, the tight end, will be a wingback on behind the left tackle, and Dylan Graham has an empty backfield.
I think I'm hearing the referee, too. That was the one thing we weren't able to sound check was the referee mic. And so I don't know if
showing a 4-2 front, now showing blitz. Linebacker showing blitz for Western. There's a snap. Graham looks to his right. He throws the ball. It's going to go deep, and that's going to go to, oh, my gosh, right out of his hands and out. He's going to dream about that tonight, and that is number – is that 88, Ben Patterson?
I believe that was Ben Patterson on the deep route there. Just coming straight out of the gate on the season, firing down the field, and Ben Patterson had a step. The ball was underthrown a little bit. Patterson had to come back to the ball, and that allowed the defender to get a hand in there and knock it down.
So now we're back. Ball again, 2nd down at the 25. 1 wide receiver to the far side, 1 of the near. Wing back to the right tackle. There's a snap high. He pulls it down. Graham hands it off to Corey Harris. Corey picks up about 5 yards right up the middle behind Max Johnson and company. So it's going to be 3rd and 5 for the Falcons from their own 30-yard line, Ben.
Just a little run up, nothing fancy there. So Falcons coming back a little bit more conservative on that play. I do not expect that to be the case for the remainder of the game.
3 wide receivers to the far side. Tight end here on the near side. Corey Harris to the left of Dylan Graham in the backfield. Graham calls the snap, count, stops, looks to the side where Coach Chris McCullough is calling the plays. Kenny Hernser signaling him in, the quarterback from last year, All-American quarterback.
Glad he was able to stick around, too.
Oh, goodness, that was a bad snap. Corey Harris snaps that ball right out of the air, and here he's coming to the near side. He's to the 50. He's to the 47-yard line before he's pushed out of bounds. But that was a bad snap from the center, and Corey grabbed that ball in midair and took off with it. What a fantastic surprise that was.
Living dangerously there are the Falcons. Ooh. And Corey Harris it gets a little. If he got a right lean instead of a left lean, he might have taken that one to the house.
Well, I was a little generous in the spot. They said he stepped out of bounds at about the 44-yard line of the Falcons, but it's 1st and 10. 3 wide receivers the far side. Now they're going to do a bubble screen to the far side. That's going to be Laquan Wells from Idalou, Oklahoma. He's wearing number 0.
Yeah, Laquan Wells out there. Well blocked along the edge, too, by the other Falcons receivers. And a good pickup there of about, 6?
About 6 yards. And Laquan likes us to point out he's from Idabel, Oklahoma. Idabel, Oklahoma. Everybody needs to remember that. So it's going to be 2nd and 5 for the Falcons. 2 wide receivers on the near side, wing back behind the left tackle, wide receiver to the far side. Going to fake the handoff to Harris. He's looking to go deep. He's going to scramble the far side. There is a flag. That usually an indicative of a hold. And Dylan Graham runs out about at the far distance marker for a 1st down. So we'll see if they're going to give it to him. He's going to be a little short, Ben.
Well, right as I was about to say, a great job by the offensive line to hold back there. That was 4 or 5 seconds that he had. So a good job by the defensive secondary to not let anyone open. But I think you're right. I think this is going to be a hold. But it was an impressive job to keep them out of the backfield for as long as they did.
So I get to say this for the first time this year, illegal cheating called on the Falcons.
And I don't hear anything coming from the referees.
I don't either.
There, so
I don't either.
I'm not going to push the issue. We can just make the calls ourselves.
So did we get the first?
No, we got backed up.
Second and 14 now from the 40-yard line of the Falcons. Ball on the far hash mark. We've got 13:06 left to go in the first period, the initial period of the 2024 season. 3 wide receivers here to the near side. There's a snap. Going to be a bubble screen to this side to Laquan Wells. Laquan's up to the 45, down at about the 47-yard line of the Falcons, Ben.
Both of the previous 2 plays had a bad snap, too. It just kind of coming out there soft, a little bit floppy. And Dylan Graham doing a good job of winging it out there as quickly as he could. And that's going to bring up a long third down, though, here on the opening drive.
Now, Coach Chris McCullough usually scripts his first 10 plays, and he follows that very diligently unless he sees an opportunity that can't be passed up. So it's going to be 3rd and 7 for the Falcons from their own 47. Ball on the near hash mark. 3 wide receivers to the far side, 2 to the near side. Graham in the backfield by himself. He just called an audible, Ben.
He sure did.
He saw something. He's got the ball. He's going to fire it right now over the right flat, and that's going to be to Jeremiah Cooley, I believe. Yep, number 1, Jeremiah Cooley. And that's going to be a first down and a gain of about 11 yards.
He actually caught it at the stick, had the first down there, and then when he backed off, I thought, oh, no. But Cooley able to break some tackles and slide up for the first down.
So 1st and 10 for the Falcons from the 41-yard line of the Mustangs. 2 wide receivers to the far side, 2 to the near side. Corey Harris to the left of Dylan Graham, the quarterback. Got a 4-2-5 defense for the Mustangs.
And it looks like they've got a blitz package on, too, to me.
They are getting a little animated. There's a snap. Going to fake the handoff, and it's going to go out, and it was not caught by Gunnar Absack as he had a defensive back right on top of him who did an outstanding defensive play, and I'm going to try to get a number of that gentleman.
I think it was 33, Ozzie Regosa.
Yeah, and he knocked that ball down, and that was a great defensive play. So it's going to be 2nd and 10 for the Falcons from their 41-yard line of Western New Mexico.
That's one of those plays that he made on Tuesday by studying film. He jumped all over that route.
He did. So we got 2 wide receivers on the near side. Brock Johnson as a wing back behind the left tackle, and we've got movement on the right side of the line.
And another wacky snap.
Well, and we had 3 offensive linemen on that side. They brought in an extra offensive lineman.
And also, I think they were snapping it directly to Corey Harris. I don't even see Dylan Graham out on the field right now. Now he's coming out on the field.
Well, it's Cam Tyler. Well, Dylan was spread out wide.
So they had
Cam Tyler and Corey were in the backfield.
Okay, a little wildcat package,
but trickeration.
But that's going to back us up as something with the. Now, Max Johnson didn't play center last year.
Oh, yeah, he did.
He did?
Yeah,
all
he's
year,
been a center even at East Central and when he transferred here. So 11:26 to go in the first period. Our score is 0-0. It's going to be 2nd and 15 for the Falcons from the 46-yard line of Western New Mexico. 3 wide receivers to the near side, 1 to the far side. Graham in an empty backfield. They're showing blitz again, Ben. 4-2-5 defense of the Mustangs.
Mustangs holding it together here. Falcons on a long drive right now and just barely across midfield.
Where's the shot clock? There it is. There's a snap. Graham drops back. He's looking to the far side, and he was trying to go to number 5.
It's Corey Harris.
Corey Harris out of the backfield. And I think that was a reliever route, and it just didn't work out. So now this offensive series has stalled somewhat, and it's going to be 3rd and 15 from the 46-yard line of the Mustangs.
With these tall receivers out there, though, every section of the field is open.
So we're going to go empty backfield. 2 wide receivers to the far side, 3 to the near side. Dylan Graham by himself in the backfield. 3-3 stack now, defense. There's going to be Laquan Wells here on a bubble screen. He's working his way up the field. He's at the 40, and he's going to get down to about the 37-yard line when he's tackled, Ben.
There was a perfect play call by Coach McCullough there as the Mustangs run an all-out blitz, and Falcons just back off into a screen play. I love a screen play. There's nothing more beautiful in the game of football than a perfectly executed screen play.
4th and 7 from the 37-yard line, and we're going to go for it. 3 wide receivers the far side, 1 to the near side. That's going to be Laquan Wells here to the near side. Corey Harris, a running back, to the left of Dylan Graham in the shotgun. 4-2-5 defense shown by Western. Graham takes a snap. He's going to throw it here to the near side. And it's caught by Laquan Wells, and he's got the first down. And so it's going to be a pickup of about, is that about 10 yards?
It was right at 10 yards, I think. It's a perfect throw as Laquan Wells came back to the ball, went up to grab it, and perfectly executed 4th down play right there by the Falcons.
1st and 10 for the Falcons. 10:25 to go in the first period. Ball on the 29-yard line of Western New Mexico. They're on the near side, the near hash mark. Brock Johnson, wing back behind the left tackle. There's a snap. He's going to fake the handoff, and there's pressure, and he gets it off, and there's Brock right there, the tight end, and he catches that ball, and that's going to be a pickup of about 7 yards.
The star of that play was Dylan Graham. He had a blitz coming right at him. Not enough men blocking on the line as he's on his back foot, able to wing it out there to Brock Johnson, who gets both toes down.
Man, that was a beautiful catch and gets his feet down. Brock Johnson, the senior from Cedar Park High from the North Austin area. It's going to be 1st and 10 from the 23-yard line of the Mustangs. Ball on the near hash mark. There's a snap. Going to hand it off to Corey Harris. Corey working his way up the middle, and he gets about 3 yards the hard way, Ben.
We're going to see that play a whole bunch this season, too. They ran it a whole lot last season, and I don't see any reason why this would be different. They're pulling 2 players off the right side. Brock Johnson and the tackle pull off the right side and try to open up a lane over on the other side of the offensive line. And that time it was 3 yards in a cloud of dust.
So now the ball on the 22-yard line, 9:24 left to go in the period, and it's 3rd and 3. Tight set. Going to be the handoff to Corey Harris. He's going to go up the middle, and he gets the first down, Ben.
I think he did get the first down. He didn't get touched until he got to that second level, but then he got touched a whole lot of times at that second level.
Well, that's the offensive line right there getting that first down, as they absolutely dominated the line of scrimmage.
They sure did, and that's something that we were really going to pay attention to today because it's new guys on the offensive line. It usually takes 2 or 3 games for an offensive line to gel, but these guys are moving folks around.
So here we go. We've got Brock Johnson to the left of Dylan Graham in the backfield. Corey Harrison behind Dylan. Dylan's got a high snap. He catches the ball off of the turf and throws it away outside. Very smart play, as that was an errant snap.
It was an errant snap, and because I thought it would come back and be intentional grounding, honestly, because he was not outside the tackle box, and I feel like that's what they're talking about.
Well, they're having a chat.
And I wish we had a ref mic to tell us about it. No, they're letting it slide.
They're letting it slide.
I wonder if it's because the snap actually hit the ground.
It did. Dylan picked it off the ricochet off the ground. So 2nd and 10, 8:46 to go in the first period. Our score is 0-0. Ball on the 18-yard line of Western New Mexico. Ball on the near hash mark. 3 wide receivers the far side. Corey Harris to the right. There's a bubble screen to Jeremiah Cooley. Cooley catches it. He's at the 20, he's at 15, and gets tackled at the 12, and he's frustrated because he thought he was fixing to break it, and he almost did.
He sure did, and he had to put one hand down on the ground, call it the old Barry Sanders drill, but not able to bounce all the way back up. Oh, he just almost got back up, and there was nothing but green grass in front of him.
3rd and 4 for the Falcons. Ball on the 12-yard line. 8:18 to go in the first period. Our score is 0-0. Falcons going right to left on your radio dial. A little wind now out of the south. 2 wide receivers to the near side, wing back to the far side. There's going to be a fade pass. It's going to Cooley, and there's going to be a penalty. That's going to be a pass interference penalty, I'm guessing, on. Oh, no, they're calling it on us.
Yeah.
Who was pushing off?
There was some hand fighting going on down there, and I thought it could have gone either direction, but it looks like
it's on 14.
They're going to move us backwards.
That's Deion Cook, I believe, is who that's called on.
And that's going to bring up a 4th down, I believe, is it not?
Yeah, but they didn't see the defensive back from Western with a handful of Cooley's jersey, and they were trying to high point Cooley, and he couldn't get there.
Yeah, pass interference called on us. I do not have a functioning ref mic, so I'm just
10-yard penalty. That's going to move the ball back to the 22. It's going to be 3rd and 14, again. So the ball on the far hash mark. 3 wide receivers to the near side, 1 to the far side. Dylan Graham in an empty backfield. 2 wide receivers to the far side. There's a snap. Dylan taking his time, got all the time. He's going to throw it over the middle, and oh my goodness gracious. It bounces off of Cooley's hands, and the defensive back for Western nearly had that snagged out of the air. That's number 20, Ben.
That's Elijah Nsasa. And he almost picked that out of the air, just like you said, off of Patterson's hands. And so now the calculus changes, and you're going to go for a kick a field goal.
So this is going to be the brand-new kicker, a freshman from DeSoto, Texas, and that's going to be Angel Diaz, number 41, out of the hold of Gunnar Absek. Ben, this is going to be how far?
This will be a 44-yarder, excuse me. 44.
There's a snap down. Grant Gensimer gets a snap through there. And it is good. And the Falcons, no, it's off. Well, Thunder.
Yeah. No, it's good.
Okay, it's good. It's good. Okay, thank you. So Angel Diaz, true freshman from DeSoto High School, played for Coach Mathis there, gets his first collegiate field goal. It's 3-0. And we're going to take a break and be back on the other side. This is Texas Permian Basin football on 95X.
Don't just earn a degree, make an impact. At the University of Texas Permian Basin, you can earn your master's degree for free. To meet the shortage of behavioral health professionals in West Texas, we're covering tuition and mandatory fees for graduate students in clinical psychology, counseling, and social work. When you study an impact major at UTPB, your passion becomes your purpose and your paycheck.
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen, here at Ratliff Stadium. Monty Montgomery, Ben Farmer bringing you the Texas Permian Basin Falcon football game, the initial one of the 2024 season, as they have just scored the first points of the season. A field goal by Angel Diaz, the freshman kicker from DeSoto, Texas. And now we're going to have Rafael Vargas from Oxnard, California to kick off, and we're going to see this Mustang offense for the first time.
That was kind of what you expect for the first drive of the season. And really the Falcons able to overcome quite a lot of mistakes there, a lot of penalties, some weird snaps, some fumbles, and still able to go down and get some points. So that's
first game jitters.
Exactly.
7:46 to go in the first period as this kick is going to go deep, and it's going to be fielded at the 5-yard line. It's going to be returned. Oh, my goodness gracious, and he's knocked down. That's number 42 that made the tackle for the Falcons.
That's big Trey Yanez out there on the special teams with the big hit, and that's just what we were talking about, is these guys are ready to hit other people. They've been hitting each other since the spring, and, time to bring it back.
And that was Jevin Dorsey, the kickoff returner, defensive back in his real life when he's not returning kicks.
And we apologize to you Mustang fans listening in. It's just very difficult to see these numbers.
They're gold with purple trim. In fact, tell a little bit about the uniforms, Ben.
The uniforms are all white for the Mustangs. White helmets, white jerseys, white pants, and then, like Monty said, just gold numbers that just don't make it all the way up to this broadcast booth.
And they have the Mustang like the Denver Broncos on the side in purple and gold. It's one of my favorite color sets, just gorgeous. We'll bring you UTPB's uniforms here in a bit. Going to be 2 wide receivers the far side, 1 to the near side. There's going to be the snap. It's going to be a quick screen out here to the near flat, and that's going to be caught by number 5, and he's going to be tackled by a whole flock of Falcons, y'all.
That's Levy out there taking that pass on the swing route from the running back position and picking up a good gain of about 6 on that play. Falcons in a 3-man front defense.
3-3-5 stack. So we're going to see some blitzes, some twists, some stunts, a little bit of everything as they do a multiple front defense. 2 wide receivers the far side, wing back to the far side, 1 wide receiver the near side, running back to the left of the quarterback. He's going to hand off again, and he's going to break free, and he's going down to the 30, and he's down to the 35-yard line. I'm impressed with this running back, man, already. And that's number 5, Levy.
Hard running up the middle there, too, and he was running over folks in the secondary. Levy's going to be a problem today, Monty.
Yep, he is, and they got to hurry up offense. Gabe Levy from Tucson University, Arizona, transfer University of Mary, and there's going to be a play up the middle. Oh, going to have a flag.
A very late flag, too, after the play. It went up the middle for only about a gain of about 1-2 yards, looks like. The Falcons did a good job of swarming that time, but a late flag coming in.
Jalen Williams, a nose guard on that tackle. Jalen is all of 6'7", 315-pound junior from Shreveport, Louisiana via Dodge City Community College. He is a large young man.
I will make sure to be in front of him in the buffet line.
We say yes, sir, and no, sir.
So that's a personal foul called on the Mustangs. That'll back him up 15 yards, and we'll repeat second down. I obviously don't know what number it was called on because we don't have a ref.
An offensive lineman leaving the field, so I don't know if he was giving somebody the business or what.
He might have been
he's having a little chat with the coaches, so he might have been getting the business and decided to share it back.
It very well could have been. So now suddenly a very different looking down and distance. Says it's 2nd and 23
from their own 22-yard line. 6:41 to go in the first period, and it's 3-0 Falcons. And the Mustangs are going left to right on your radio dial. That's north to south. No wind to speak of. High snap, going to be a bubble screen to the far side. Defense is there. They're going to wrap up the runner, and he's down. And that's going to be number 9 that made the tackle.
Well, Kendrick Jones is number 9, but I really think the turf monster made most of that tackle as 20. Who was
it 24 or 5?
24 is Lance Lawson.
Okay.
And he was trying to make a cut, but he cut off his inside foot. And when you cut off that inside foot, more often than not, you're going to slip on this turf. It's extra humid today, Monty.
Yes, it is.
Usually it's about 100 degrees, and suddenly today it's only 80 degrees because we had some storms over the last couple of days. But it is humid, and that carpet's going to get really slick. So if you're a runner out there, you need to make sure you're cutting off of your outside foot.
Do we have a media? Where's the red hat?
We have a timeout of some sort.
Well, no. Now they're bringing everybody back.
Yeah.
So it wasn't a time. There's a little discombobulation here.
Well, I wish I had an answer for you, but yeah, they ran everyone off the field and then immediately said run back onto the field. So after an extended wait, we'll come back with the third down play.
Ashton Hamby going into the locker room. 3 wide receivers the near side. Whoop, there's a jump, offensive line jump. There's a flag. They're going to call illegal procedure on the Mustangs offensive line, and it's an interception. Jalen Rockmore, and he dropped it. And he'll be thinking about that about 3 a.m.
He sure will be, as that was a gift wrapped for him. And, you know, there's a reason sometimes these guys play defense instead of offense.
Jalen, very, very high football IQ, an excellent student with a very high grade point average.
Just let that one get away from him.
I think he probably had the deal like, whoa, this thing's going to land it in my hands. What? Whoa.
Yeah, exactly. Like, oh.
So it's going to be
look what I found.
3rd and 22 from the 28-yard line of the Mustangs. Ball on the far hash mark, 5:42 to go in the first period. 3-0. Falcons with the lead. Going to be 3 wide receivers here to the near side, 1 to the far side. Running back now running up to the far side as a wide receiver. Quarterback takes a snap. He's looking left. He's looking right. He's under pressure. And here comes, oh, my goodness gracious. I believe that was Tristan Exline. Yes, oh, my. Woo.
And another late flag coming out.
Oh, my goodness gracious.
Exline doing a great job with that 3-man defensive front. Exline's just playing spy. And the moment he broke containment, the quarterback that is, Exline just decleated him.
Oh, I'm thinking about Fred Sanford and Sanford's son. Elizabeth, I'm coming to meet you.
It's the big one.
It's the big one, as that was an absolute oops, and that's going to be a flag called on the Falcons. That's going to be a personal foul, 15 yards. It's going to give them a first down and move the ball to the 39-yard line.
So, unfortunately, Exline's great play right there just completely
They didn't call
negated.
targeting, did they?
No way. He didn't hit him in the helmet. And it was something extracurricular is what it was, because that flag came in after the play was over. So that was a dead ball, 15 yards.
That's Tristan Exline. Y'all better get used to us saying his name because he is an outstanding athlete and linebacker. So now it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Mustangs on their own 29-yard line. 5:11 to go left in the first period. 3-0 Falcons with the lead. 2 wide receivers to the near side. There's going to be a handoff to Levy, the running back. He gets up there. He is a hard-running guy. He gets 4 yards the hard way up the middle. And he's going to be brought down by number 91.
91 is Austin Williams.
Austin Williams, the other nose guard that you do not want to spend time with.
Levy doing a great job just following his blocks straight up the middle. And, yeah, he's kind of his own blocker as well. It's going to take 2 or 3 Falcons to drag him down.
Austin Williams, 6'5", 350 junior from Valdosta, Georgia.
350.
There's a snap. Quarterback's in trouble. Oh, my goodness. He just gets wrapped up by a defensive lineman. The ball came out.
It's not going to matter, though, Monty. We were offsides to start the play, I believe. There's a flag down here.
Did Frank come up with the ball? Well, that's Austin Williams, who just announced his presence with authority, as Nuke LaRouche would say, in Bull Durham. And the quarterback is now going to have nightmares for the rest of the season.
He is, but I think this play is going to get – it is, as Coach McCullough down there complaining to the referee. Someone was lined up offsides. Oh, no. McCullough's waving his arms like he wants to decline.
Oh.
So the ref says false start.
Well, if I had this defensive line in front of me as an offensive lineman, I'd be false starting too and yelling fire. because these are large young men who have a point to make.
So that false start also negates the play, however, because that's a no-play penalty.
So 3rd and 15 from the 34-yard line of the Mustangs, 4:27 to go. Ball on the far hash mark, 3 wide receivers near side, running back to the right of the quarterback. There's the snap. Quarterback in the shotgun formation, and he's in trouble, and he's trying to find somebody, and that was a heck of a throw, but I think he trapped it, and there they are. They're saying the heads lineman said that number, is that 24? 24 trapped that.
Yeah, I think that was Lance Lawson again back there, but there were 2 receivers going after that ball, as that looked like a scramble drill. It was a designed bootleg out to the right, but something went wrong in the communication where there were 2 wide receivers running the exact same route.
So 4:08 to go in the first period. 4th and 15, ball on the 34. They will punt. Gunnar Absek deep to receive this punt, and the punter is going to be number 92.
92 is Braden Biller for the Mustangs. And, yeah, like I said, Absek back to receive.
Punter standing on his own 20. That's kind of an end over end. We got another flag.
Another one. And it's called by the referee that was standing next to the punt receiver. That is delay of game call.
So he's watching the clock.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yep.
So back him up a little bit. You know, what started out as a pretty promising drive for the Mustangs. A couple of handoffs to Levy, and then just first game jitters, just not putting things together the way that they were hoping to.
Braden Biller has no school referenced.
Yeah.
He's now standing at his 15-yard line. He gets his foot into it. Boy, howdy, they nearly blocked that. Gunnar Absek's going to fair catch it at the 36-yard line, and it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Falcons there. 4 minutes left to go in the first period. Well, they're going to call that the 20. That's not the 29-yard line.
That's the 36. You were right.
36. There it is. So 1st and 10 for the Falcons, their second offensive possession of the contest. They're going to have what we're calling timeout.
There's the red hat.
Okay, we're going to go to immediate timeout. We're going to take a 30-second break and be back on the other side. This is 95X presentation of Texas Permian Basin Falcon football.
I'm not going to have a penny of debt in my name when I graduate from this university.
Everybody's in your corner. They want to see you succeed.
With Falcon Free at UTPB, you can earn your degree for free. No loans, no debt.
UTPB was the best fit for me financially.
If your family makes $100,000 or less, your tuition and mandatory fees are covered.
Here you are part of the family.
Learn more at utpb.edu/FalconFree.
And we're back here at Ratliff Stadium, Montgomery. Ben Farmer and the Falcons have a 3-0 lead with 4 minutes left to go in the first period. Been a little bit of a pushing and shoving match. We'll get to that in just a minute. I need to read this, Ben. We want to remind you that this game broadcast content is a copyrighted presentation of West Texas Radio Group, all rights reserved. And we want to thank our game sponsors, Diamond Pump and Transport and Exclusive Assurance Services. Thank you so much for making this broadcast possible. Ben, talk a little bit about the first period so far.
Sloppy on both teams' accounts. And this is kind of what you expect. The defenses, like we say, are ahead of the offenses for the first couple of games. Not exactly sure why it works out that way, but it's just always the case. And so it's been sloppy. Falcons able to overcome some of their sloppiness and get 3 points on the board. Mustangs just not able to overcome it. A lot of penalties so far today. A lot of miscues. We've seen people slipping. Just sloppy football so far.
Want to give you a little teaser that Vice President of Athletics, Scott Larson, brand new as of last week, will be our halftime guest, and so we'll have a chance to visit with him. You'll have a chance to hear his thoughts on the athletic department, which way we're headed, and how he's going to get us to the next level, I believe, Ben.
Yeah, glad to have him here, too, because there was a couple of months this summer where we think, oh, no, are we not going to have an athletic director?
Absolutely. All right, here we go. Falcons first down. It's going to be Corey Harris off the right tackle, and he's going to get about 6 yards, Ben.
Just great vision. You know, we've talked about Corey Harris for 2 seasons now. Just great vision to pick his way through just a little bit of space that he had over there for a good gain of 6, I believe, on the play.
Graduate of Fort Worth Christian. This is his third year. Ball's on the 42-yard line. 2nd and 4 for the Falcons. 3:36 to go in the first period. There's the snap. Going to give to Corey again. He's going to break left. Now he's going to cut it back up right. There's going to be a flag, but he gets a first down. But I don't know if this is going to be negated by a penalty.
It is going to be negated by a penalty. There's going to be a holding out there. It's a good gain by Corey Harris. But, yeah, once again, boy, that referee's going to have to ice his shoulder down tonight when he gets home.
They are. Holding, holding Falcons. So that'll go back 10 yards, repeat of the down.
Well, this is kind of what you expect from the first game of the season.
Well, we do have a bunch of new faces on both sides of the ball and special teams. So ball now on the 32-yard line of the Falcons on the far hash mark. 3:25 to go in the first period. Falcons have a 3-0 lead. 2nd and 14. 3 wide receivers near side, 1 on the far side. Running back to the left of Dylan Graham. 4-2-5 defense by the Mustangs. There's a snap. Dylan comes to the near side, then does a reverse handoff to Corey, kind of a little counter trade twist there.
Yeah.
And Corey twists and fights his way up about, 6 yards?
It's a great run. It's a little mini reverse
10 yards.
kind of.
Yeah, 10 yards.
And Corey Harris hits the circle button twice on that play, spinning around defenders, and a good pickup.
3 wide receivers to the near side, tight end to the far side. Corey to the left of Dylan. He's going to call the snap. Now we're going to change the play from the sideline. They see something, Ben.
Mm-hmm. I don't know what it was.
Clock running, 2:36 to go in the first period. 3-0 Falcons. Going to be a quick toss to Corey. Corey's going to cut up here, and he's going to get the first down as he gets about a yard more than he needed, about a 5-yard pickup to get that first down.
And a good hard run by Corey Harris, too. They actually had him stopped a couple of yards before that first down, but Corey Harris falling forward and moving the sticks.
Cam Tyler now in as a running back. 1st and 10 for the Falcons from their own 47-yard line. 2 wide receivers to the far side, wing back to the right side, 1 wide receiver to the near side. There's going to be a fake handoff to Cam. Dylan's in trouble, and he gets slung down and very wisely throws the ball away. He didn't panic. He didn't do anything. He just took care of business.
So far, I'm very impressed with Dylan Graham, the decision-making that he has had in this game. And you're exactly right. That's the correct decision that he made right there, is somebody just got through the line. And again, it's just hard to see their numbers. I'd like to be calling out their names, but.
So it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Falcons from the 47-yard line. 2:01 left to go in the first period. 2 wide receivers to the far side. There's going to be the snap, going to give it to Cam. Cam's up the middle, and he's going to get a good burst, and he's going to get, 8 yards, Ben?
It was a big run up the middle, just pushing and shoving right there. And, yeah, big run up the middle. Just follows his blocker, Brock Johnson in the middle, and then Cam Tyler did a lot of that on his own once he got to the second level.
Cam Tyler, redshirt sophomore from North Mesquite High School in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. So it's going to be 3rd and 2 for the Falcons. There's going to be a quarterback keeper, and Dylan Graham here on the near side off the left tackle picks that up with about 3 yards. It's going to be 1st and 10 for the Falcons.
We saw Kenny Hernser run that play
yes, we did.
A whole bunch, especially towards the second half of last season. And Dylan Graham showing he's not afraid to tuck the ball under and just run over some folks as well.
Ball on the 41-yard line of the Mustangs on the near hash mark. 3 wide receivers, the far side, 1 the near side. Running back to the right of Dylan. He's going to hand it off to the running back. He's going to work his way up the middle. Ramon Diaz just got rolled up on from behind by one of their large men. And Ramon not looking happy about that, and I don't blame him. I'm just minding my own business.
I'm just glad he was able to get right back up.
Yes, I am too. Corey Harris was a running back. He picked up about a yard. 2nd and 9 from the 40-yard line. Ball on the near hash mark. Falcons going right to left, south to north on the radio dial. 2 wide receivers to the far side, 2 to the near side. Corey to the left of Dylan. 4-2-5 defense for the Mustangs. Plenty of time. Dylan looking the downfield, and he's got a running back a wide receiver coming across the front. That's Deion Cook.
I think that's Ben Patterson, number 10.
Number 10.
Yeah, Ben Patterson coming across on a dig route. And the star of that play was the running back who picked up the blitz. Is that Cam Tyler or is that – no, that's Corey Harris. Corey Harris picked up a blitz right there and gave Dylan Graham the time to hit that long dig route.
Thank you, Ben. I'm used to him wearing a different number. So number 10, Ben Patterson. So it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Falcons on their own 21, the 21-yard line of the Mustangs. And there's a bad snap. And it is a comedy of errors as that ball rolls all the way back, and they're going to call it down at the 39-yard line of the Mustangs, aren't they? Or did they recover it?
That's the end of the first quarter.
Oh, thank goodness. Okay, end of the first quarter. So we're going to take a break and be back on the other side. 30 seconds. This is Texas Permian Basin Falcon football on 95X.
Dear Texas, we know how much you love brisket. We got you. We took mouth-watering brisket, slowly pit smoked for 12 hours, and combined it with your favorite queso and pico. And so, H-E-B Brisket Queso was born. Because that's how we express our love. Looks like you got the message. Brisket Queso. To Texas with love from H-E-B.
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen, here at Ratliff Stadium. Monty Montgomery and Ben Farmer. And we've just ended the first period, and it's 3-0. Falcons with a lead. Falcons get a drive going, and they just had a lot of miscues. And Ben, very uncharacteristic, but it is the first game of the year. They've been beating on each other. Now they're getting to beat on other guys who also want to beat on somebody new.
That's right.
And that is what is going on. So we hope that Coach Chris McCullough and his staff will get this sorted out here quickly, as I feel like the Falcons should be up 2-3 touchdowns.
Well, it's hard to do when you have 60 yards of penalties in the first quarter, and that's exactly what we had. 6 penalties for a total of 60 yards, and that doesn't account for the hidden yardage of they gained yardage on some of those plays that also gets negated.
Right, and then Coach and his staff are going to not be happy about that at all.
They will get that fixed. I guarantee it.
Well, we're going to have the start of the second quarter here, and the Falcons are going to flip the field. They're now going to go north to south, left to right on your radio dial. It's going to be second and, is that 28?
Second and 28. You
second
are correct.
and 28, and the ball is on the 33-yard line of the Mustangs. Should be on the 5. Goodness gracious. Cheese and crackers, as we like to say where I live.
Well, what's your 28-yard play here, Monty?
We're going to throw deep. We're going to throw it to Cooley. Well, it's going to be a fly sweep to Cooley. As a matter of fact, going to the far side, and Cooley's trying to turn up field, and very good a defensive play there by the defensive back, and that's going to be number 21.
21 is David Miller.
And he did an excellent job of stopping a very dangerous player. So it's going to be 3rd and 28. Ball on the 27-yard line now of the 3rd and 26, I'm sorry, from the 38-yard line of the Mustangs. Ball on the far hash mark. 2 wide receivers in tight. Wing back on the near side. 1 wide receiver to the far side. Corey Harris to the left of Graham. There's going to be the snap. Graham's dropping back. He's got a little time. He's got to throw the ball, and he's going to go to Cooley, and it's just too much lead, and Cooley got mauled.
He sure did, but I think the ball was uncatchable, so that's why a flag wasn't thrown. A great job by the offensive line there. They picked up a blitz. Again, I think it was Corey Harris coming into the middle to pick up that blitz and giving Dylan Graham enough time. And I think just a little bit outside of the reach, and so the Falcons are going to punt.
Well, and it's going to be Rafael Vargas to punt. We want to say hello to all his family listening and watching in Oxnard, California. The Romero and Vargas family.
He's got 2 leg sleeves on this year.
He's getting formal on us. There's going to be the snap. It's going to be the kick, and they're showing a fair catch. It goes into the end zone, and that's going to be it. Back deep for the Mustangs on that, Ben, and I cannot. And I've got binoculars for crying out loud, and it's a little hard when they turn sideways. You can't see the numbers.
Mm-hmm. It's hard when they're facing you straight on, though, too, with these.
Well, this young man, that's 21 again. 21 was a punt returner.
21 is David Miller.
So the first possession of the second quarter for the Western New Mexico University Mustangs. They're going to have the ball at their own 20 at the far hash mark. Now the Mustangs are going right to left on your radio dial, south to north. No wind at all, which is very unusual in this part of the country. 3 wide receivers the near side, 1 to the far side, running back to the left of Magana, the quarterback. There's going to be a handoff to Levy, and he's going to get about 3 yards before he gets tackled. He is a hard running back.
I was going to say he did all 3 of those yards on his own.
Well,
the Falcons defense just collapsed right at the point of attack is Frank and Austin Williams, but Levy able to just drag him a couple of yards.
2nd and 8, ball on the 22-yard line of the Mustangs. There's a snap. It's going to be a bubble screen here to the near side. That is a live ball, I believe. And, all right, they're going to call it down. So that play did not go well. The intended wide receiver is number 19.
That's Corbin Gibson over there. And Gibson just really didn't have a shot at it. Ball kind of landed towards his feet.
So it's going to be 3rd and 8 for the Mustangs. Ball still on their own 22 on the far hash mark. 3 wide receivers, the near side, 1 to the far side. Quarterback in the shotgun formation. Running back to his right. Tight end to the far side. There's going to be a snap, and it's going to be a little dunk pass. Oh, my gosh, and that was tipped by number 22.
Yeah, Yemi Oyasanya.
Yes.
New player on the team this year, tipped that ball. And, boy, I thought the Falcons were going to have a shot at a pick 6 there, but a good job by the Mustangs offense to pull it down. But to no avail, it's 4th down, and they're going to be punting now.
Yeah, Yemi, 6-foot graduate student, 258 from Norman, Oklahoma, transfer from East Central. So now it's going to be a punt, and it's going to be number 92 punting.
92 is Braden Biller.
And he got that ball off, and it's kind of a knuckleball. And Gunnar Absett's going to catch it over his shoulder at the 40, and he's back to the 30. He's trying to get to the edge. Now he's going to turn the ball up, and he's going to get hit at about the 37-yard line, knocked out of bounds on the near sideline.
Boy, Gunnar Absett ran about 70 yards on that play because he was going laterally, and with dangerous catch too on that as he Willie Maysed that thing.
He's going to need a little something to drink and a little moment to kind of gather himself and go, what just happened? And heck of an effort by Gunnar. 12:43 left to go in the second period. 1st and 10 for the Falcons on their own 37-yard line. Ball on the near hash mark. Cooley, the near wide receiver. Brock Johnson, the wing back to the far side, behind another tight end. And 1 wide receiver to the far side. There's going to be the snap, going to give it to Harris. Harris is going to go off left tackle, and he did not get very far.
Preston Helu in there for the Mustangs in the backfield very quickly and just able to put Corey Harris's ankles together for a loss of 1. Helu coming from the linebacker spot. He was on a blitz, or he reacted extremely quickly. But either way, he was in the backfield.
Going to be 2nd and 11 for the Falcons. Ball now on their own 36. There's a snap. Graham's going to hand it off to Harris. Harris is going to go off right tackle, and he's going to pick up about 4 yards.
It was a good lead block there by, I believe it was Brock Johnson up in the hole to spring Harris. But a good job by that Mustang secondary to leave it for only a gain of 3 or 4 there. So a long 3rd down upcoming.
Well, Brock Johnson, one of my all-time favorites, he's tight end, and as my grandma would say, Brock is a little ornery, I think is the best way to put that on a family radio station, and he will earhole a linebacker if he gets the opportunity. There's going to be the snap, going to be the handoff to Harris. Harris is going to cut up the middle, and he's going to drag a defender for a 1st down. Corey Harris gets that, and that was a guy that was about twice his size he's dragging.
It was a very similar play, this time without the lead blocker in the middle, but Corey Harris just doesn't get touched till the 2nd level and falls forward, running over a couple of people in the process of getting that 1st down.
1st and 10 for the Falcons from their own 48-yard line. 11:13 left to go in the second period. 3 wide receivers the far side, 2 the near side. I'm going to look for Cooley here, buddy. Nope, I was wrong.
Went to Corey Harris. Does Corey Harris look bigger to you this year?
He does, and I want you to know, before he was all muscle, now he's all muscle on top of muscle. I don't think there's an ounce of fat on him, if any at all. I mean, he is just solid.
And they've got him split out at wide receiver the last play and this play. The ball came straight to him for a good pickup of 7.
So it's 2nd and 3. Ball is on the 45-yard line of the Mustangs. Going to be a bubble screen to the far side. Is that going to go to
Patterson? It's Ben Patterson again out there on the edge. Same play as the previous play, just the opposite side of the field.
I think that's Deion Cook, number 14.
Was it Deion Cook?
Yeah, because I was going to say Ben is sprung.
Oh, you're right. It was Deion Cook.
Ben being 6'5", no disrespect to Deion at all. Dion is 6'3", so I could tell that 2 inches from here.
Is Dion 6'3"?
That's what they're saying.
How about that?
There's a snap, going to go to Harris. He's going to go off left tackle. He gets arm tackled and slung down by a very large defensive lineman.
I believe that is number 99, Devin Dyer.
Yeah, Devin Dyer doing the damage there. Corey hopes he doesn't run into him again.
Looking like Manu the slender on that one, just all arm strength.
Devin Dyer, 6'3", about 350 pounds, so transferred from New Mexico State.
Wow.
So it's going to be 4th and 1. We got the jumbo package. We're going to go for it. Ball is at the 43-yard line of the Mustangs on the far hash mark. Everybody in tight. There's going to be the snap, and it's going to be Dylan Graham off left tackle, and he's going to pick up a lot of yards, Ben, about 8 yards.
He sure is, and that's a play that, again, we saw that play a whole lot last year, especially in short yardage situations. And the Falcons saying, look, everyone in the stadium knows what play we're running. You just got to try to stop it.
Well, and I think the Mustangs were anticipating something up the middle, and Dylan just kind of pedestrianly strolled off the left tackle. So it's going to be 1st and 10 from the Falcons from the 34-yard line of the Mustangs. Ball on the far hash mark. 3 wide receivers near side. Tight end on the far side. And there's going to be a handoff to Cam Tyler. Cam's going to work his way up about 4 yards.
Doing a good job of drawing the defense into a hole and then jumping out into another hole right there. But not a huge gain on the play, only 2 yards. But it was a crafty 2 yards.
So 8:34 to go in the second period. Falcons leading 3-0. Ball on the 33-yard line of the Mustangs. 2nd and 8 from there. 2 wide receivers on the near side. Brock Johnson wing back to the near side. Now there's going to be a delayed handoff to Cam Tyler, and he's going to go off tackle again. And they're seeing something in the booth that they're working the right side of that defensive line, Ben.
Yeah, Tristan Williams able to get the tackle right there and just corral him up. But you're right, there was a lot of green grass in front of him right there. If not for a perfectly executed tackle from Tristan Williams.
Tristan Williams, the new left tackle. He's number 59, 6'5", 290-pound redshirt senior from East Central, a transfer from Mount Vernon, Washington.
So I was actually referring to Tristan Williams on the Mustangs, the defensive back.
Sorry. And there's a catch. That's going to go to Cooley, and he's going to catch that and step out of bounds immediately. Sorry about that, bud.
That's okay, because we have a Tristan Willis on our team.
Tristan Willis, okay. So, and all this is new to us, y'all, so bear with us as we sort through who's who and what's what. We'll do our best not to sound like Abbott and Costello.
Well, I can tell you who's got a first down, and that is the Falcons after that play.
Ball 1st and 10 on the 22-yard line. 7:35 to go in the second period. 3-0 Falcons with the lead. It's going to be the snap. Dylan Graham going to immediately look to throw the fade to Cooley in the end zone, and that's it. Touchdown Falcons, touchdown Falcons. Jeremiah Cooley on the fade. Ben?
Nothing to it, just a fade in single coverage right there, and actually the defender fell down at the last minute, and Cooley just reaches up, pitch and catch, and 6 points on the board.
The defender, number 14, is a little upset because he thinks he was pushed, and it happens. Darian Wingfield
might have a case there. Michael Irvin made an entire career out of that move right there.
So we got a swinging gate play here. And it's going to be a snap to Gunnar Absack, and Gunnar is going to cut back upfield, and he's going to get into the end zone for 2 points.
I hadn't seen a swinging gate work in 20 years. I've seen it twice in the last week now.
Yep.
I think
once with Florida State.
Yep.
Yeah.
How about that?
So the score is going to be 11-0 Falcons with 7:23 left to go in the second period. We're going to take a 30-second break and be back on the other side. This is Texas Permian Basin Falcon football on 95X.
UTPB football is back and better than ever. All Falcon football home games are free this season. That's right, free admission and free tailgating. All you need to do is show up, bring your friends, family, and your favorite food and drink. Come and cheer on the Lone Star Conference champions as they fight to defend their title. Experience the fun of tailgating and the excitement of college football in the Permian Basin. Falcons up.
And we're back at Ratliff Stadium, Montgomery. Ben Farmer, where the Falcons have just scored their first touchdown of the 2024 season to go along with a field goal, and it scored on a 2-point swinging gate play by Gunnar Absek. And so the score now is a unusual 11-0. It's like Canadian ball, 10 and you nothing, you get a rouge. And the 1-point play. So 11-0 Falcons, 7:23 to go in the second period, and they'll be kicking off here in a moment. Ben?
Some dark clouds starting to settle in over the top of us, Monty. I don't know if they're going to be enough to they're not big enough, though. It's a beautiful game out here. It's a beautiful day. It's a great crowd. The tailgate was excellent today. And just fun to go out there and hang out, watch the Falcon Walk, go meet up with the alumni tent and all the other fans here from West Texas. It's a great day for college football.
Rafael Vargas will be our kickoff specialist this year. And he's got the tee down and back deep, Ben, for the Mustangs. If I can see these numbers, is number 7.
That's Jevin Dorsey.
And number 24
is Lance Lawson.
So if you're just joining us again, 11-0 by virtue of Jeremiah Cooley scoring the first touchdown for the Falcons for the 2024 season on a, what was that, Ben, about a 30-yard fade?
Yeah, something like that. I mean, you're going to put him in single coverage. We're going to do that to you all day long.
Press coverage on Cooley, and he's going to score a lot of points.
Mm-hmm.
Falcons going left to right on your radio dial. That's north to south, and there's a kick by Vargas. It's a high over-end kick. Going to go to the back on the far side. He's going to get the ball at the 15, and he's going to get slung down. Well, he's still up, and there's a lot of Falcons over there. It looks like a convention. That's Sean Burks who comes up with the ball. They're going to throw a flag. Sean, one of the backup linebackers from Cuero, Texas.
And Trey Yanez on that play just came flying in and absolutely decleated whoever was trying to block him. But another flag after the play was over.
Yeah. That was number 7 that was received that kick.
Jevin Dorsey. And let's see what the white hat tells us. Personal foul on us. I think he called it on Ashton Hamby.
Is Ashton back out there?
Well, I think he said 27. I'm having to listen through the crowd mic, though.
Well, the kick returner, Jevin Dorsey, is from Mount Sac in California, where we found one Mr. DeAndre Robinson.
Oh.
Mr. Robinson's neighborhood.
What's he doing these days?
Working wireline, baby.
Okay.
1st and 10 on the 34-yard line for the Mustangs, their own. 1st and 10, and there's going to be the snap, going to be the handoff to Levy, and he's going to pick up about 4 yards, and he runs violently.
That's a great way to put it.
Very violently.
With purpose and violently.
Yes.
Absolutely.
He wants there to be a problem. He's hoping there's a problem.
He likes contact.
He's looking for the linebacker. I need to have a chat with you. So it's going to be 2nd and 6 for the Mustangs now. The ball is a 4-yard pickup. Ball's on the 43-yard line, a far hash mark. 3 wide receivers to the near side. And tight end to the far side, running back to the left of Magana, the quarterback. There's going to be the snap, and it's going to be a handoff running back. He runs into the back of his left tackle, and then he is picked up there by several Falcons who treat him very rudely.
Yeah, I think that was Malik Allen who picked up his.
And Austin Williams. Well, that's number 1. That is the running back.
Oh, the running back number 1 is Jamon Chambers.
From Reedley College, 5'6", 185 pounds, and Austin Williams. That physics does not work out.
No.
2nd and 7 from the 37-yard line of the Mustangs. Ball on the far hash mark. There's a high snap. Magana's got to get it. He's under pressure. He absolutely avoids an incredible rush, and he's now got a first down, and he's up to the 40. Somebody's got to tackle him. He's up to the Falcon 37-yard line. What a great play by the Mustang quarterback.
And off of a broken play, a bad snap. Falcons had a blitz on right there, and for all intents and purposes, he should have been sacked in the backfield. Instead, turns it into a 35-yard pickup.
Running for his life.
And actually there, cut off his inside foot and slipped.
So 5:35 left to go in the first half. 1st and 10 from the 37-yard line of the Falcons. First threat that the Mustangs have managed to muster this first half. There's a snap, going to give the ball the up back, and oh goodness, there went somebody's helmet. one of ours.
I hope it was just a helmet, not an entire head.
That's Austin Williams. Well, when you get in that middle, sometimes it can get a little interesting.
Now he has to come off for a play as a result. I don't care for that rule, to be honest with you.
Former nose guard Joe Washington, another 6'5", 350-pound nose guard for the Falcons from Long Beach, California, got a hold of a running back at Western once, and I thought we were fixing to see the lid pop off with the head inside it. There's a snap. Quarterback looking to his right, going to throw. Oh, my goodness, a beautiful crossing route to the near side. And that should have been caught, Ben, by the Mustangs.
I have 19.
19.
I have that listed as a defensive lineman named Corbin Gibson, but I don't think that was a defensive lineman out there catching passes. Is this one of the updated numbers possibly?
Yeah.
We got an updated list just before we went on air today.
Yeah. Nicole Punt, can you find that updated number list for us?
I think I've got it right here, actually, Monty.
Do you? Oh.
It is a 3rd and, well, the board says 38, but I think it's 3rd and 10 from the 38. And then back to throw. Oh, a huge hit out there in the flat, as that was a running back, just a wheel route out there.
Malik Allen decleated him. Ooh. How you doing?
And sorry, Monty, I took over the play-by-play.
No,
there.
you did a great job. Thank you, because I'm sitting here trying to find.
That was Malik Allen.
Malik Allen introducing himself.
Well, now, Malik Allen is a defensive lineman. He wouldn't have been out there.
Well, that was zero.
Was that Laquan Wells playing defense?
No. That was zero.
Yeah.
Malik is a very fast individual.
Well, okay.
Yep, he's very fast. No, there's a specific list that had number changes.
Well, as we dig around, so number 19 for them is Anthony Flores.
Okay, so it's going to be
from a couple
1st
plays.
and 10 for the Mustangs from their 23-yard line of the Falcons. 4:58 to go, and Mustangs getting a little drive going here.
They sure do.
It's going to be the snap, and it's going to be a handoff to number 1.
It's Jamon Chambers again.
And he's going to pick up about 5 yards.
Yeah, good gain up the middle. Nothing fancy about that play, but just a good push by that offensive line. And Chambers picking a little hole to squeeze through.
So, again, we want to thank our sponsors, Diamond Pump and Transport and Exclusive Assurance Services, for bringing us this game today. Mustang's going to take the snap. Quarterback's looking to throw a fade here to the near side. The defensive back in here fighting, and that's number 7, who is working his tail end off there to keep that from happening.
It's Corell Coney out there for the Falcons, and for the Mustangs, I believe that was Deuce Zimmerman they were trying to get the ball to.
Corell, a 5'9", 178-pound junior defensive back from Macomb, Mississippi.
And just some hand fighting out there on the perimeter, both of them doing it to each other. So no penalties called on that play. But, yeah, Mustangs coming back say, all right, you can throw the fade, we can throw the fade too. And just not having the same success on that one. But a 3rd down and 6 upcoming.
Ball on the 20-yard line, 4:20 left to go in the first half. 4 wide receivers here to the near side. Quarterback takes a snap. He's under pressure. He's scrambling to the far side. He's looking for help anywhere. Malik Allen gets a chunk of him, and there's a beautiful play to the back of the end zone, and that's number 24 on the defensive side for the Falcons.
That was Ravenel for the Falcons on the defense.
Knocking that ball away, and just a great play by Jamarian Ravenel from DeSoto, Texas, another DeSoto product. Great high school football program in Texas.
On the field.
We got a flag?
Yeah, it's in the area of holding, but it was a total jailbreak on the play. So I'd be really shocked if there's a holding call because it did not work. And Coach McCullough down there with his arms out asking what is going on. And that yellow flag has been on the field a bunch today already.
I bet there's been 15 penalties.
Yeah, that sounds about right. My live stats aren't pulling up.
So here we are.
So that is going to be on the Mustangs. It's a personal foul.
Chop
block.
Chop block. So it's going to push the Mustangs back to the Falcon 34-yard line. So it's going to be 3rd and a mile.
Yeah, it's just one of those things. If somebody is engaged up top, you can't come in and chop block them. They're going to call that every time.
3 wide receivers to the near side. There's the snap. He's looking to the left. He's under pressure. Gets away. The quarterback, Magana. And now he gets hit as he throws the ball by Tristan Exline. And that's going to be a wide receiver who catches that. And then is that Kendrick Jones, number 9, on the tackle.
Kendrick Jones on the tackle, and it was Deuce Zimmerman again right there, making his way back to the middle of the field, finding his blockers. Great job by Magana to get away from that, or Magana, excuse me. And another good job by Deuce Zimmerman to find his blockers back in the middle of the field, but just not quite enough for the first down. I think they're going to set up the kicking unit.
So it's 4th and 10. Kicker is going to kick it from the near sideline, near hash mark. I'm sorry, near sideline. Goodness gracious. What game am I at? It's 47 is the kicker.
That is Zach Gordon.
There's a snap. Ball's down. Kick is up, and it is good. And so the Mustangs get on the board with 3 points. Our score now 11-3 with 3:16 left to go in the first half. We're going to take a 30-second break and be back on the other side. This is Texas Permian Basin Falcon football on 95X. And we're back, ladies and gentlemen, here at Ratliff Stadium, Montgomery Ben Farmer, where the Western New Mexico University Mustangs have just scored a field goal and their first points of the 2024 season. It's 11-3, Falcons with a lead. 3:16 to go in the first half, in a game that can be called so far kind of sloppy.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. But Mustangs able to overcome a lot of things on that drive right there and put some points on the board for the first time this season.
They didn't give up. This is a better team they had last year, buddy.
I 100%.
There's a kick. It's going to go out of bounds, and that's going to be a penalty. Back deep was number 2 for the Falcons.
Probably Traylon Sewell.
Yeah, Traylon Sewell. We've got some double numbers. Traylon Sewell, 5'10", 180-pound redshirt sophomore from College Station, Texas.
I'm hearing I might have a ref mic now, so let's give it a shot. Nope. So that's the call. It's illegal procedure. You can't kick it out of bounds on a kickoff. So the Falcons will start out on the 35-yard line.
3:16 left to go in the half. Falcons up 11-3. Ball on the near hash mark. 3 wide receivers the far side, 1 the near side. I think we're fixing to air it out. There's a bubble screen to Gunnar Apsek to the far side. He's going to cut up field, and he's going to work his way. He's going to pick up about 5 yards, I believe is what they're going to give him, Ben.
It was a good pickup, but a good hit in the secondary. I want to say that was David Miller back
21,
there. Yeah,
21.
That is David Miller. He just lined that one up and crash-mated poor Apsek. But a good pickup of 6 they're giving him on
6
that one.
yards. 2nd and 4 now from the Falcons from their own 41. 3 wide receivers the near side, 1 to the far side. There's the snap. Ball was on the far hash mark. It's going to be to Gunnar Apsek again. He has a hot hand. He's going to get knocked out of bounds. About at the line. They're not going to give. Yep, they're going to give him. They're going to give him the first down.
I don't know. They're not giving. Yes, they are giving it to him. Well,
yep, they are.
Okay, they are.
So it's going to be 1st and 10 from the Falcons for their own 44-yard line. Ball on the near hash mark. 2 wide receivers the far side. There's a snap. Graham looking here to the right. He's going to find Ben Patterson on the out route, Ben, and that's going to be a pickup of another first down.
It's a great pitch and catch right there. Good route by Patterson, and just a little shy of a first down here as we approach the 2-minute timeout, which is new in college football.
Well, we've had 2-3 plays without a penalty, so this is good news for the Falcons. There's going to be the snap. Dylan Graham, plenty of time. That offensive line doing a really good job, and there's going to be throw the ball away as Cooley was trying to come back here on the far side up the sideline to help his quarterback out, but just Dylan ran out of time.
That time that the offensive line gave him there, they had 4 men rushing, and just no one got close to Dylan Graham at all.
So it's going to be 2:03 left to go in the first half. It's 3rd and 1 from the 49-yard line of the Falcons. 3 wide receivers to the far side, ball on the near hash mark. There's going to be the handoff to Corey Harris. He's going to get off right tackle, and he's going to get the first down.
Yep. Oh, and then throws a late punch, too. I wonder if any of the referees saw that. They did not.
I think he was pointing that he got the first down.
He was, and the Mustang players were still ripping at his jersey, too. So, yeah. But he did get the first down, and that's going to bring us to the 2-minute timeout.
2-minute timeout, so we'll take a 30-second break and come back on the other side. This is Texas Permian Basin football on 95X.
Welcome to Rose's Cafe, where every meal is a celebration meant to be shared. Go ahead, pull together tables for any size group. Because at Rose's, we believe that everyone deserves a seat at our table. So come together, share the joy, and experience authentic Mexican food at its finest as you create memorable moments in our comfortable, colorful dining room. After all, life is better with Rose's Cafe.
And we're back at Ratliff Stadium in Odessa, Texas. Montgomery Ben Farmer calling you Texas Permian Basin Falcon football. Falcons have the lead 11-3 with 1:57 left to go in the first half. They have the ball on their own 44-yard line. Nope, I'm sorry. That's the 44-yard line of the Mustangs. And trying to get a score here before the end of the first half, Ben.
Well, the NCAA wanted us to make sure that we pointed out that the new 2-minute timeout rule is not an additional timeout. It has replaced the late media timeout.
Oh, okay.
So it is not an additional timeout. It just gives the TV partners a little bit more control over knowing when we're going to break and that sort of thing.
Well, and then we've got a conclave going on with all the referees, officials, about the between the 40 and the 45 on the south side. So they've all gathered up. A little prayer meeting.
That was it. That was exactly it. Just going over Ephesians.
Thou shalt not. Tell us, Ben. Sing it, brother.
I might be able to do a rendition of Father Abraham.
1st and 10 for the Falcons at the 44-yard line of the Mustangs. 1:57 left to go in the half. Falcons going left to right on your radio dial. Ball on the near hash mark. 3 wide receivers to the far side, 1 on the near side. Corey Harris running back to the right of Dylan Graham in the shotgun. There's a snap. Graham looking back. He's going to throw the ball quickly to Cooley. Cooley's going to pick it up at about the 30-yard line, and he's going to step out of bounds, and it's going to be another 1st and 10 for the Falcons, Ben.
Once again, another great job by the offensive line. They're picking up a late blitz. It was a 1-2-3 Mississippi blitz, and the offensive line just shifted, picked it up. Dylan Graham hit his man down the field.
1st and 10 for the Falcons now from the 30-yard line of the Mustangs. There's a snap. Graham's got it. He's going to go deep on the fade, and that's going to go to Ben Patterson.
No, that's Deion Cook out there.
Deion Cook, and could not pull it in.
That's the correct way to throw that ball. So he put a lot of air underneath it and let Deion Cook adjust to the ball. But Deion just couldn't quite get there. Jumped probably just a moment too soon. There's a correct read, though, by Dylan Graham. The correct kind of throw. You want to put a lot of air underneath those sorts of things, and just didn't pull it in.
2nd and 10, ball on the 30. Falcons going left to right on your radio dial. There's going to be a bubble screen to the far side. That's going to go to...
That's Deion.
Deion Cook, and he's going to pick up a 1st down and about 8 more yards. So it's going to be 1st and 10 from the 12.
And a long throw, too.
15-yard line.
You don't think about that being a long throw, but he was throwing it from the near hash all the way across the field there, and just a good job by Deion Cook gathering it up and getting what he could.
No win. 1st and goal from the Falcons. I'm sorry, 1st and 10 from the 15, Ben.
Yep.
There's a snap. Graham rolling here to the right, and that's going to go, that's not going to be caught as the wide receiver was falling down. That's number 5.
That's Corey Harris out there trying to run a flat route. Moving Corey Harris around the offense.
Lot more.
Yeah.
A lot more.
I don't remember seeing him play any receiver last year.
No.
But, yeah, they're splitting him out right. They're splitting him out left. He's running routes from the backfield. Very interesting. That was just a quarterback bootleg, a designed bootleg out to the right. Kind of a flood concept that you see out there, and just not able to connect.
2nd and 10 from the Falcons from their own 15-yard line. 1:18 left to go. Ball on the far hash mark. There's going to be a quick handoff to Corey, and he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and treated very rudely.
Yeah, they didn't even say please and thank you that time.
Zero, the linebacker.
That's Helu again, who is
a good player.
Yeah, quietly starting to have a really good day here. Really hanging out in the Falcons' backfield a little bit more often than you'd like to see.
Got the other tight end in, 85. He's a transfer from East Central.
That's Jaron Hendricks.
Jaron Hendricks, 6'3" junior from Denison, Texas. 2 wide receivers on the near side. Tight end, wing back to the far side behind Brock, who's on the line. There's going to be a throw, and it's going to Cooley, and that's it. They're going to give it to him? They gave it. Cooley catches it, does the toe tap, gets 1 foot down, and it's a touchdown Falcons. Touchdown Falcons, Jeremiah Cooley.
We're going to see this all season long. Nobody's going to be able to go up and compete like that as Cooley goes up the mountain, grabs it, taps 1 toe. Now, the Mustangs have an argument here that he did not complete the catch. And there is going to be, the coach is going to want them to take a second look at that. Monty, I think this one's coming back.
Well, and coach is mattering a wet hornet. And he's out. Coach McCullough is out at the hash mark, and the referees are shooing him back. And something did not go according to plan. I guess they wanted a quick snap before they could call for the review.
Yeah, that was the idea, was they were trying to get it out there too. And you know what, Monty? 20 years ago, I knew what a catch was. And since then, the catch rule has changed so many times.
It's kind of subjective in a lot of ways. I
think this one's coming back, though. Well, I do think you have to complete the catch. Well, and you can see on the replay on the big board here that the ball does get knocked out of his hand. Toe taps there, and then it's out of his hands.
Well, I'm going to call it good. You think it's not, so we'll see what happens here.
And by the way, I don't think it really matters because just run the same play again.
And Chris McCullough is wanting to talk to an official, and they're gathered up over at the 3-yard line and not paying any attention. And, boy, that's not going to make him happy.
They are checking the replay over there.
So here's the deal. We've got a 17-3 score as it is right now. We're waiting for the point after attempt if they allow this touchdown to go. Jeremiah Cooley caught this ball on the near end zone, jumped up, high-pointed it like he does, came down, right foot in bounds, left foot out of bounds, and Western New Mexico is arguing that he did not have total control of the ball. Jeremiah differs in opinion. And so we've got the referees over at the review tent. Your review awning tent. Over here, they moved it a little closer. It's not as far in the corner as it was. And this is, we're going to keep it here as we don't know how soon this is going to come back.
We've got the women's basketball team in here waving at us right now.
Yep, I think they may be joining us.
You know, for the last couple of years, Monty, I thought that the referees, when they went to the replay, see the same angles that we're seeing. It wasn't until this summer that I was clued in. No, they have completely different cameras that they're
using.
There's
a whole different camera setup?
Apparently so. There's a whole different camera system down there.
They're not using Trans Global Productions.
They are
Bob
not.
Bailey, and we want to thank Bob and Tim Rose on camera 1, Jason Barrage on camera 2, Jordan Gray on camera 3, Brandon Chance on camera 4, and Debbie Bailey doing the replay. I thought they used the feed we see.
No, I did too, but apparently not.
Well, and this is the thing that I find exceptionally irritating is that it takes a while. Here we go. So we're coming back with the verdict, the white hat.
And I think the Falcons are sending the offense back out on the field.
They are.
They are, and the referee, whose microphone I can't hear, says it is an incomplete pass and will be 4th down.
So we got the field goal team out there to kick, Gunnar Apsek to hold, Grant Gensimer to snap, and the new kicker is Angel Diaz, a freshman from DeSoto. So it's then take.
This will be a 32-yarder here. He hit a 44-yarder earlier.
He told me he's hit 50 in the game at DeSoto, and he's hit 60 in practice, and there's no wind. Ball from the far hash mark. There's a kick. It's up, and it is good. And so that's going to make it 14-3 with 25 seconds left to go in the half. So Angel Diaz getting his second collegiate field goal in the course of this. And it's a great play there for Angel and the Falcons as they do get 3 points. Let's take a break, come back on the other side. This is Texas Permian Basin Falcon football on 95X. I may have waited too long.
Hang on, my commercial didn't fire.
Do they have a pill for that?
Right, be quiet. It's not firing for some reason.
It's overused, abused, taken for granted. The word free. At First Basin, when we say free checking with instant issue debit card, we stand behind it. So if you're like me and no one...
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen, here at Ratliff Stadium in Odessa, Texas. Monty Montgomery and Ben Farmer bringing you all the action of the Falcon football team opening contest against Western New Mexico University Mustangs. And the Falcons just kicked a field goal. It's 14-3 with 25 seconds left. And Rafael Vargas from Oxnard, California to kick, wearing 2 leggings this year, Ben.
Yeah, and I'm also a little disappointed that field goal leaves us with a regular score of 14-3.
And that was a fair catch, and that was caught by number 7.
That's Jevin Dorsey for the Mustangs.
So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Mustangs from their own 25-yard line.
That's right, and they only have 25 seconds as well.
Well, we have not seen the quarterback Magana throw deep. We may be fixing to get that opportunity as the ball is going to be set in the middle of the field. He's going to have 2 wide receivers on the near side, 2 to the far side in a stack, and the running back to the right of Magana, the quarterback. Falcons in a 3-3-5 stack. There's going to be a quick pass over to the running back out of the backfield, and we lost another lid, and that's going to be Levy, the running back, and that's going to be, who is that? It's number 8, lost his helmet.
Cameron Lee for the Falcons lost his helmet. It was a good little out route by the running back, Levy, over there, and just a small pickup, but he does get out of bounds to stop the clock with 19 seconds remaining here in the first half.
3-yard pickup, 2nd and 7 from the 28. 19 seconds left. Going to be the snap. 3 wide receivers here to the near side. Quarterback is under pressure. He steps up. He's under pressure again. He's going to get tackled, and that's going to be, is that Tristan?
I think that's X-Line.
That's Tristan X-Line who absolutely takes him down. And so that's going to leave 5 seconds left, and it's going to be the final, down to 0. That's it. That's the end of the first half. And we're going to have a score of 14-3, Falcons with the lead. And we're going to now go to our halftime show, and we're hoping to see Brandon Warr is going to grab Coach McCullough here in just a minute. Coach McCullough having a chat with the referee. He forgot we've got a deal going on.
He's missing his cue.
Yeah, Coach, we gotta get those referees over there and talk to them on the air. We'll ask some questions. And we'll take a 30-second break and be back on the other side. This is Texas Permian Basin football on 95X.
It's overused, abused, taken for granted. The word free. At First Basin, when we say free checking with instant issue debit card, we stand behind it. So if you're like me, and no one really is, it might be good to see if your bank is hiding the word fee in free. Time for a new bank? You're going to like coming in first. First Basin Credit Union. Experience superpower.
Member NCUA and Equal Housing Lender.
Same thing.
UTPB football is back and better than ever. All Falcon football home games are free this season. That's right, free admission and free tailgating. All you need to do is show up, bring your friends, family, and your favorite food and drink. Come and cheer on the Lone Star Conference champions as they fight to defend their title. Experience the fun of tailgating and the excitement of college football in the Permian Basin. Falcons up.
Go to him and have him tell us what the coach said, please. And tell him to recap.
Rosa's Cafe's breakfast takes me back to those early mornings. The smell of fresh homemade tortillas filling the air. The warmth of my mother's kitchen wrapped around me like a hug. Rosa's is a taste of home, a reminder of the love and tradition that went into every dish. Taste the authentic flavors of a Rosa's Cafe breakfast. After all, life is better with Rosa's Cafe.
Dear Texas, we know how much you love brisket. We got you. We took mouth-watering brisket, slowly pit smoked for 12 hours, and combined it with your favorite queso and pico. And so, H-E-B Brisket Queso was born. Because that's how we express our love. Looks like you got the message. Brisket Queso, to Texas with love, from H-E-B.
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen, at Ratliff Field. This is Monty Montgomery, Ben Farmer, as we're having our own little stumbles here, Ben, like the football team, and we'd had a flag thrown on us right then, but we could not get the coach's audio to work, and Brandon Warr visited with him, and Brandon's going to join us here in just a minute and tell us what Coach said. Brandon, are you there? Matt, is Brandon there, buddy? All right. Hey, Brandon, tell us what Coach told you, please. Thank you so much, Brandon, for that report. And with that, we're going to go now to Ben.
Some commercials that I need to clear, I believe.
All right, we're going to go to commercials and come back. Matthew, we're going to go back to commercials, and we'll be back in 2.5 minutes. This is the Texas Permian Basin Falcon Radio Network and stream on 95X, and we'll be back in 2.5 minutes. Thank you. Matthew. Hey, Matthew, you there, buddy? Ben, is this working? Okay. Montgomery, Ben Farmer bringing you the play-by-play action today, and the Falcons have a 14-3 lead by virtue of a field goal to kind of close out their first half, and that was because a touchdown by Jeremiah Cooley was called back because he didn't have possession as he got his 1 foot down. So we kicked the field goal, Angel Diaz did, and so 14-3. But more importantly, I am now joined by the brand spanking new Vice President of Athletics for the University of Texas Permian Basin, and it's Mr. Scott Larson. Thank you for joining us.
Absolutely, good to be here.
And welcome to the Permian Basin.
Thank you.
So you brought some nice weather with us from Lubbock, you from Lubbock. It's a little cooler here. And tell us a little bit about yourself, sir.
Well, that's a broad question. Depends on how far back you want to go. But athletically, started my career a long time ago as an undergraduate intern at the University of Tulsa back in the late 90s, actually. From there, went and got a master's degree at Arizona State, was a graduate assistant there. Got my start in the compliance area, kind of worked my way up through there. First AD spot was at Lubbock Christian University. I was there in 2012. I was there for 12 years, 4 in the AD role, my last 4 there. And then a short stint at Black Hills State in South Dakota, and then back here, West Texas, home.
You won some national championships.
I didn't win anything.
Lubbock Christian.
I didn't win anything. Coach Steve Gomez had a lot to do with that.
You did good. I can tell you, he's one of my favorite coaches, and his teams are outstanding.
They are. He's he's an amazing human being. Forget basketball. He's just an amazing human being, and I learned a lot from him in going through that and being around him for 12 years. Just the way he conducts himself and the perspective he has on athletics and games and things like that. And he's been an incredible mentor for me.
Men's basketball also outstanding at LCU, along with baseball, softball. They do everything right. They seem there. So how do you bring those type of success stories and translate that to the University of Texas Permian Basin?
Well, the biggest thing there, I think, is we had, and I'm sure they still do, have a really good culture there. Coaches that have been there for a long period of time because they believe in the mission, they believe in the department. they've had opportunities to go elsewhere and simply haven't, just because they enjoy where they are, what they're doing, the institution they're at, their kids, and I think that's the biggest thing. It's, I Coach McCullough's, mantra is family with the two L's, and that's really what it is. I mean, it's just a family atmosphere. And not saying it's not here, because everybody around here has been great and seems to get along and things like that. But that's really what it is. It's it's cliche, but it truly is culture.
So you've got an opportunity to put your fingerprints on the department immediately, because we've had some coaching changes and all. And could you talk a little bit about some of the folks that you're bringing in and what their background is?
Sure. The only coach that I've hired to this point is Justin Phillips, the new baseball coach. He's a coach that I've known for quite some time. He actually, my older son played for him a couple summers.
Oh, wow.
And things like that. And I've known him since I was at LCU, and he all the time. He's been a high school coach. He's dabbled in the Division II ranks. Ever since I've known him, he's been wanting to get back into college baseball, and it's just never been the right fit or the right time or something like that. But when this opportunity came about, I called him and I said, hey, I've got the job that you need to take. And he's been blowing and going since he got here. When he got here 2.5 weeks ago, he had 12 on the roster. He's now up to, I think, 34. So he's been he's been hitting the recruiting trail hard.
Well, he also played in the Kansas City Royals organization.
He did,
is that correct?
And he
then
also
worked as
serves
a scout.
as a scout for them too.
Yeah. So that's got to help. You got to have a few phone numbers for players, and then you're in that business.
Absolutely. And I know he convinced a couple of guys that went into the portal when Coach Grinder left to come back to play, and then he's got a couple kids from the South Plains and here that have gone off to play other places, and they're going to come back home and play for UTPB as well. And the other coaches, Scott Farmer did an excellent job, obviously, of holding down the fort since Todd Dooley left, and so he hired Aubrey Avila, in softball, was a good one, hired Brian Schroeder in swimming, who I've been absolutely blown away with, very impressed with. We have a tennis opening now. We're hopefully going to have that filled here momentarily, and then we have a deputy AD spot. That's actually, we're just finalizing that hire right now, and that should be announced sometime next week.
New golf coach, former Odessa College.
Yes, I forgot about Coach Shavit. There's so many I forgot about. But Coach Shavit, he's unbelievable too. Coach Farmer did a great job with that hire as well. He's doing great things with the golf program. He's ready to roll, hitting the recruiting trail hard. So yeah, it's kind of a new era, but at the same time, you've got Coach Tolan, Coach Booth, Coach McCullough. I mean, Coach McCullough's only been here 2 years, but seems like he's a veteran. But and Carla Tejas in soccer, and so that core group has kind of held down the fort and stuck it out through what was a tough summer. But I think we're in a good spot and ready to roll.
So you've been in the Lone Star Conference before. You come back. How is it different from LCU to UTPB, if that's a fair question, or is it the same dynamics, you just different place?
No, there's a few different dynamics. Obviously, you got football versus no football, which is a huge dynamic. Then public versus private, two very different ways of doing things and funding sources and all those kinds of things. So they're two very different institutions for sure.
So what do you see? I mean, you've been here all of almost 2 weeks.
Yes, sir.
So what do you see as, per se, the immediate needs of the athletic department versus the long term?
Well, I think, after today of getting everything ready for football and stuff here at Ratliff Stadium, which is a great venue, and Ector County ISD does a good job of taking care of us, but we've got to get an on-campus facility for football, and we got to upgrade the other on-campus facilities as well. But it's imperative. I mean, it's a great crowd here tonight, but just imagine if we were on campus and it was easier for students to get there and all the things, and it just brings a different energy to a campus with an on-campus facility.
It does. Do you, as you move around, you're meeting with civic leaders in both Midland and Odessa. You're meeting with donors. You're kind of the new pretty girl in town, if you will, and getting a chance to meet everybody. Are folks showing you that they are very, very interested in getting more involved with the university?
I think that's the first time anyone's ever called me pretty, but
well, you're sitting next to me, Coach. I mean, you see me, you look. I'm telling you, I'm not eye candy these days.
Yeah, I mean, there seems to be a willingness to help. I mean, it's not the University of Texas at Odessa; it's the University of Texas Permian Basin. So it's a region. It's not just a town or a city. And so, yeah, there is an appetite for that. We've just got to get organized and come up with a plan and prioritize what we need to do, and then present that plan, to those folks that you mentioned, and get them on board.
Is there a possibility that the sports that we could do, we might be able to have athletic events in the Permian Basin and communities, or is that something that really needs to be kept close to home? And I don't mean to put you on the spot.
No, I mean, I think you're talking about like home contests. Or?
I'm talking about, home contests where we play a basketball game, a baseball game, softball game to generate interest in the program.
Yeah, I mean, nothing's out of the question. I mean, everything's on the table at this point. I think the greatest opportunity for that is, spring football. Taking, spring football practices and spring scrimmages, to surrounding communities, Andrews, Big Spring, those kinds of places that are around here. And then there's also opportunities, you look at basketball, over the winter break when UTPB is not in session, playing maybe a 11:30 game at, where, Midland College where they play and inviting all the elementary schools and that kind of thing and having an education day kind of environment. So, yeah, there's, everything's on the table. I mean, I hate taking away home games from teams because that's obviously a huge advantage. But no, everything's on the table.
So what do you see as UTPB's place possibly going forward that brought you here, that makes you enthusiastic to put your career on the line at UTPB, that you're going to take us forward? What kind of an outline do you have for that, please?
Well, I think priorities, I mean, they have to, the college landscape is changing, seems like every 30 minutes, in this day and age. And so I think for UTPB to be able to take advantage of what may come next, we've got to improve facilities and scholarships. People have talked about Division I. Who knows what that looks like in the next 5 years? Who knows? But we just have to be in a place to be ready to take advantage of whatever's next.
So the NIL, and a lot of this is misconception as I move around the area, folks go, well, all these kids are getting NIL. We're not getting NIL here. There's only 3 schools that I'm aware of in the Lone Star Conference personally, and that's WT, Angelo, and Eastern New Mexico. Are there others that are doing it that I'm not aware of?
Well, I mean, we have some student athletes that have NIL deals, but it's nothing significant. It's product. It's, a few dollars here and there. But it's an interesting challenge at this level because, we don't have unlimited budgets at our level. And so, somebody who's willing to give a student athlete, I don't know, $100,000 or $1 million like the softball player at Texas Tech, it's well, yeah, that's great. But at the same time, could we use that $100,000, $500,000 to help the overall program as opposed to one individual student athlete? So it's an interesting dynamic that we've still got to work through at this level.
Transfer portal. How do you feel about that?
That's worse. That's worse than the NIL stuff for college athletics. I mean, it's free agency. I think it was the Coastal Carolina baseball coach when they lost in the NCAA baseball tournament this year. He said, imagine if the NFL, NBA, professional sports, they had free agency for every player every single year. And that's what we're dealing with.
How do we get control of that?
Well, I don't know if nationally you ever will now that cat's out of the bag. I don't think it's going to be tough to put that in. But I think as an institution, you create that culture that people don't want to leave. And so, you create a great culture, a student athlete or two leaves, word gets back that, hey, maybe I didn't have it so bad at UTPB, and things were great there. So, former teammate, you may want to think about going somewhere. And I think that's our best defense is creating, that culture, that family, that atmosphere that, hey, we want you here, we love you, we're going to take care of you, we want you to have the best possible experience that you can while you're here.
Scott, thank you so much for joining
Absolutely.
us. We're about to run out of time.
Yeah.
I could talk to you about this for 3 hours on the air. We could be insomnia for everybody. But I got a lot of questions, and I hope you'll come back and join us where we can talk about the future of Falcon athletics and how all the Permian Basin can participate and be a part of this family.
Absolutely. Anytime.
Thank you so much for
Thank
joining
you.
us, sir. We appreciate
Appreciate
that.
it.
We're going to go back and take a break. We'll be back on the other side. This is Texas Permian Basin football on 95X.
Dear Texas, we know how much you love brisket. We got you. We took mouth-watering brisket, slowly pit-smoked for 12 hours, and combined it with your favorites, queso and pico. And so, H-E-B Brisket Queso was born. Because that's how we express our love. Looks like you got the message. Brisket Queso, to Texas with love, from H-E-B.
From kickoff to the 2-minute warning, H-E-B has all you need to make your tailgate a touchdown. For the starting lineup, H-E-B's freshly made guacamole and salsas are a delicious play. And for meat lovers, H-E-B Prime 1 steaks and burgers are a sizzling way to get your grill on. Plus, pick up the extras like H-E-B's Our Finest paper towels, Texas Tough trash bags and foil. From food to snacks to defensive sacks, tailgating is a win with H-E-B.
It's overused, abused, taken for granted. The word free. At First Basin, when we say free checking with instant issue debit card, we stand behind it. So if you're like me and Well, no one really is. It might be good to see if your bank is hiding the word fee in free. Time for a new bank? You're going to like coming in first.
And after the kickoff there from the Falcons, the Mustangs are going to get the ball at their own 31-yard line. Good return there by the Mustangs. We're back here for the second half. Falcons leading 14-3 here in the opening game of the season. I'm Ben Farmer. He's Monty Montgomery. He'll be back in just a hot moment. Shotgun formation for the Mustangs. Magana wings it over into the flat, setting up a wide receiver type screen over there into the flat. Pickup of 4 on the play. That is Gabriel Levy out there. Gain of 4 on the play. So we got 2nd and 6 upcoming for the Mustangs. Looking to get something going here after halftime. It's a good halftime interview with the new Vice President of Athletics, Scott Larson. Second down play is a run up the middle. Nothing much there. Falcons defense able to swarm.
That was rather rude.
It was. And that was, I think, the first time I've seen Levy go backwards.
That was Frank and Jalen Williams introducing themselves to start off the second half as we've got 14:06 left to go in the third period. Falcons up 14-3. Mustangs receive the opening kickoff of the second half. The ball's on the 36-yard line of the Mustangs, and it's 3rd and 4. Ben?
You nailed it all right there. So first third down of the second half here. Mustangs trying to get some points early here.
There's a sweep around the near side, and it's just not going to go anywhere, and it's going to be short. And that is Jalen Rockmore on the tackle, the linebacker, and I think he's about a yard short. That was Levy on the run. Nope, check that. That was number 1.
Number 1 is Chambers. Jamon Chambers, and they're leaving the offense out on the field here, Monty. They're going to run a 4th down play.
Well, this is one of those gut check times. And so the Falcons defense is going to have to bow up here to keep this 4th and 1 from the 39-yard line of the Mustangs. Now they got to check with me on the far sideline. Ball's on the near hash mark. 1 wide receiver to the near side, 2 to the far side, wing back on the left side. There's going to be a high snap. It's going to be a quick punt. And that's going to hit at the 30, and it's rolling to the 25, 15, and about the 10-yard line of the Falcons. And that was a great play, Ben.
That was an absolutely perfect play call by the Mustangs coaching staff over there as they do the quick kick from the quarterback. And that could not have turned out better as it gets down all the way at the Falcons' 10-yard line. And Falcons going to have to move 90 yards here if they want to get some more points on the board.
So 12:49 left to go in the third period. 14-3. Falcons with the ball at their own 10-yard line. 1st and 10. Ball in the middle of the field. Virtually no wind. Falcons going right to left on your radio dial. That's south to north. 2 wide receivers the far side, 1 on the near side, wing back behind the left tackle. There's a snap. Dylan Graham fakes, then throws the ball to Corey Harris as he did a fake pass. Pumped once and then got it to Corey, who got a little deeper, and that's going to be a pickup of about 6 yards, Ben.
It was a good pickup, and the Mustangs had another late blitz on right there, but just a good job by the offensive line, giving them enough time. Dylan Graham winging it out to Corey Harris.
Out in the near flat. So it's 7-yard pickup. 3 wide receivers the far side. Ball still on the near hash mark. There's going to be the snap. Fakes a handoff. Here comes the blitz. And there's going to be a deep throw to Ben Patterson, who catches it in stride. He's at the 30, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown Falcons. Touchdown Falcons. Ben Patterson.
Excellent throw by Dylan Graham out there, too. On the run, moving left, throws it across his body. Perfect throw. And then Ben Patterson, or not moving left, I'm sorry, under attack. And just wings it out there. And then watch Ben Patterson puts on another speed as he goes from a football player to a track athlete.
Wow. That's overdrive right there.
Excellent. Excellent
Unbelievable.
job.
Just like I drew it up. Ben Patterson, how many yards was that?
Well, that drive started at they got
90-yard drive.
So it was about an 83-yard play, I think.
On a 3-yard play. Ben caught that at the 45 of Western and ran it 45 yards in from that point. Angel Diaz in to take the kick out of Gunnar Apsak's hold. Grant Gensimer's snap. Snap is down. Kick is up, and it is good. And with that, we're going to take a 30-second break and be back on the other side. This is Texas Permian Basin Falcon football, 21-3 Falcons, back in 30 seconds.
Welcome to Rose's Cafe, where every meal is a celebration meant to be shared. Go ahead, pull together tables for any size group. Because at Rose's, we believe that everyone deserves a seat at our table. So come together, share the joy, and experience authentic Mexican food at its finest as you create memorable moments in our comfortable, colorful dining room. After all, life is better with Rose's Cafe.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Ratliff Stadium, where the Falcons have just scored a touchdown, 90-yard touchdown play as Dylan Graham, under duress, gets the ball to Ben Patterson, who streaks into the end zone. After he caught that ball, he went into overdrive, and it was beautiful. He caught it in stride. Falcons 21-3 with 12:06 left to go in the third period, Ben.
Just exactly how we called it. We thought it was going to be tight in the first quarter, and then the Falcons are going to start pulling away, and that's what it appears is going on at this moment.
Well, to me, Ben, and you tell me if you agree or not, but it doesn't look like the defensive line for the Mustangs is having as big an impact as they were earlier in the game.
And that's all credit to the offensive line of the Falcons.
Yes.
You know, the unit that we were saying, I don't know about, it's hard for an offensive line to be gelling this early on. But so far doing it, and a surprise onside kick.
Rafael Vargas executes, and it's a flag. I don't know if it went the full 10 yards. Rafael did that a couple of times last year.
I think it went the full 10 yards, but
why did they throw a flag?
Why did they throw a flag?
Well, they're pointing.
Watching here on the replay on the TV side, it
towards Western.
Definitely crossed. You know what happened, though, is the Falcons were making contact with the other team before.
We were offsides.
Yeah, before it got those 10 yards. And I think you're not supposed to make contact with anyone until the ball crosses 10 yards.
Well, there's two flags down. There's one here at about the 35 on the south side, on the near side, and one over there at about the 45 on the far side. And so we're having a conclave, waiting for the smoke to come out to tell us what's been decided. But just like Coach Chris McCullough, come out aggressive as a Dickens, 10-yard lines, no problem, we'll just throw deep.
Yep, absolutely, and they executed it perfectly. And then come right out with a surprise onside, straight up the middle. Hey, diddle, diddle.
Well, Coach McCullough in consultation with a couple of refs, too.
I'm going to try this ref, Mike, one more time. See, I just hear buzzing. I don't hear any content.
I'm glad you said that. I was afraid I was hearing things again.
So, yeah.
Offsides on the Falcons.
That's
be
declined.
Illegal procedure on the Falcons. That's going to be accepted.
Yeah, and I think that's what it is. I think you're not supposed to make contact with the other team until the ball has crossed 10 yards.
So after all that, we're going to kick again. So I'm guessing with the penalty, we're going to be kicking it off from about the 30-yard line. And Rafael Vargas asking for placement. So he's going to put it at the 30, so it's a 5-yard penalty.
You think he does another one?
No. I think he's going to kick away. But the way Coach Chris McCullough thinks, that might be a perfect time to try another one right here.
You never know.
That's why I'm in the booth. Our score is 21-3 for the Falcons. 12:06 left to go in the third period. Falcons just scored on a 90-yard pass from Dylan Graham to Ben Patterson. So here's Rafael Vargas in double leggings this year, and he's going to kick it away. And that's going to go to the near up back, and that's going to be number 7, and he just got hit something awful. That's number 47, Sean Burks out of Cuero, Texas, that just introduced himself to number 7.
To Jevon Dorsey,
yep,
who had a good little return going, and then, that just got completely shut down. Yeah, by Sean Burks out there. So after all that, kind of back where we started this half.
Yes, it is. It's going to be 1st and 10 for the Mustangs at their own 25-yard line, ball on the near hash mark. They got 3 wide receivers to the near side. Haven't seen this formation before, Ben, today. Running back to the right of the quarterback, Magana. It's going to be a snap. It looked pump fakes to the near side. Now going to go deeper, and there's a wide receiver wide open. That's number 3, and he steps out of bounds at about the 38-yard line.
It's a great design on that. That's Deuce Zimmerman out there making that catch.
Beautiful pitch and catch right there, buddy.
They absolutely faked the bubble screen and then sent 2 receivers who crossed one another's routes, and Deuce Zimmerman was all alone on the sideline.
So 1st and 10 for the Mustangs from the 40-yard line of the Falcons. Ball's on the near hash mark, wide receiver to the near side, 3 to the far side. Running back to the right of the quarterback. There's going to be kind of a high snap. Magana looks over the middle, and there is, oh my goodness, I think he heard footsteps, but there was an open wide receiver for the Mustangs, Ben.
I didn't catch the number on that either, but yeah, he was coming across the middle.
24.
24 is Lance Lawson. Coming across the middle with Tristan Exline just breathing down his neck.
Hello, can you hear me?
And just kind of fat-fingered that one.
Yeah, 11-12 left to go in the 3rd period. 2nd and 10 from the 40-yard line. Wind is non-existent. Mustangs going left to right on your radio dial. They're in white uniforms with gold numerals that are very difficult to see. White pants with a purple stripe trimmed in gold. And the numbers are trimmed in purple. White helmets with the Denver Bronco-type Mustang in purple and gold on each side of the helmet. Falcons in their brand new jerseys, orange with white numerals, stripes on the sleeves, and orange pants that say the Basin down the sides. And here comes the snap. It's going to be a handoff to the running back, and oh my gosh, I thought he had dropped that, but he was able to retain it, but that's Levy, and that tackle was made by Jalen Rockmore, team captain.
They're swarming Levy at this point. Levy's just having to do a lot of it on his own. I will point this out, though. This is probably maybe the best Western New Mexico team I've seen.
One of the best ones
in the last 4 years.
They are very competitive, and they are doing themselves proud. They are taking it to the Falcons. Yes, sir. So it's going to be 3rd and 11. There's going to be a snap. There's a pump. Fake. Now he's under trouble. Oh, goodness. He just got –
Did he get that pass off?
Oh, he got that pass off because he was in the grass with Jalen Williams and company, and he got that pass off to number 8.
That's Bobby Hartley-Brown, the tight end.
And Bobby Hartley-Brown coming back and helping his quarterback out, and that's going to make it 4th and 1 at the 40-yard line.
What a tremendous presence of mind right there.
Because he was about to get mauled.
He was already getting mauled, and Magana just able to spin out and just get just enough to get the ball out, but not enough for a first down. And so we're going to see a short punt here on 4th.
Well, I'm going to look for the fake.
This would be the time.
Gunnar Absett back at his own 5-yard line to receive this. See if the up back gets it. Nope. Punter mishandles the snap. He finally gets the ball up. It's a high spiraling kick, and Gunner's going to catch it in traffic. Goodness, there were 5 Mustangs surrounding him, and I'm not sure they didn't violate this. Yep. Gunner's saying, hey, they were closer than they should have been. Why wasn't there a flag thrown?
Yeah, they call it the halo. You're supposed to have a yard around in every direction, and
I didn't have it.
No, he had it less than a yard in several directions.
They were taking his wallet and his car keys, so that's how close they were. And he's chewing dentine, too.
But no call made, so the Falcons will start this off once again from the 10-yard line.
10-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Falcons. 21-3, UTPB with a lead. 9:50 left to go in the 3rd period. 3 wide receivers the far side, 1 on the near side. Brock Johnson, wing back behind the left tackle on the near side. Dylan Graham by himself in the backfield. Now man in motion to the far side. There's going to be a fake run there. Now Dylan under pressure, and they brought everything. And, boy, we spoke too soon about them not getting to the quarterback as Dylan is tackled down at about the 4?
Yeah, somewhere around there. Just a long developing play that time as they were doing a fake jet sweep. And it just took too long for the play to develop, and that pocket just collapsed
that
on
was number 50 for the Mustangs in there on the tackle.
It's Clinton Wellborn.
Well, he dang sure got in there and got it done. So it's going to be 2nd and 15 for the Falcons, ball on their own 5-yard line. Corey Harris is standing in the backfield. Dylan Graham standing on the goal line. 1 wide receiver to the near side, 1 on the far side. Tight end and wing back to the far side. There's now going to be a handoff. Corey's going to go off right tackle, and he's going to be stopped after a gain of about 2-3 yards.
Yeah, so now suddenly a long third down in the shadow of your own goalpost.
Yeah, this field flipped in a hurry.
It sure did. And, that's the power of special teams. When you call a short punt like that, and you execute it well, that is exactly what it's designed to do.
So 3rd down and 13. Ball is on the 7-yard line. 2-yard pickup for Corey. He's to the left of Graham. 3 wide receivers the near side, 1 to the far side. There's the snap. Graham's looking downfield. He's going to go deep, and there's going to be high pointed. Is that Ben Patterson? And nope, it's Traylon. Nope, number 4, Deion Cook. As I run down the entire roster. Sorry about that, Deion.
A great throw by Dylan Graham. Calmly sets his feet, points everything. And Deion going up to grab it, high pointing it into double coverage.
That had hands on him when he went up. They had their hands on him. So it's going to be 1st and 10 from the Falcons from the 42-yard line, their own 42. Ball on the far hash mark.
These wide receivers are excellent.
They are incredible. I don't know how you defend them. 2 wide receivers on the near side, wing back to the far side. There's going to be a fake handoff. It's going to be over here to the near side. That's going to be number 2 with the ball. And he's going to get up about 10 yards.
Yeah, that's Traylon Sewell out there, and they had a cornerback playing about 11 yards off the line of scrimmage. And so, just wing it over to Traylon Sewell real quick.
Traylon from College Station had a great year last year. Looks like he's going to duplicate it this year. Going to be 1st and 10 from the Falcons from their own 40, from the 46-yard line of the Mustangs. There's going to be a quick pass out to the far flat to the running back, and he's going to be tackled. And that's going to be, that's number 19. He's going to be tackled after about a 5-yard gain.
Jace Wyatt, the tight end.
Well, tight end, forgive me. We have not seen him in.
Yeah, that's a new name for us.
So it's going to be 2nd and 6 for the Falcons from the 41-yard line of the Mustangs. Graham drops back. He's going to throw to Jeremiah Cooley here on the near side. Cooley catches the ball. And are they going to call interference on Cooley or interference on the defensive back, number 21?
I was watching downfield here, too.
They're going to call it on Jeremiah.
Yeah, they sure are. And I think it was deserved. He did give him more than just a little love tap. He shoved him out of the way. But what a beautiful ball that was from Dylan Graham. He really can throw the ball well.
He can throw the ball well, and that was David Miller, the defensive back, a transfer from Murray State University. And Jeremiah called for getting a little handsy.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're going to penalize him, and they're going to do this again.
But why not just keep doing that?
Well, it's working.
Just keep doing it.
It's working. The wide receivers are starting to have their way. It's these little issues of the penalties we've had that have kind of negated a handful of drives today that are going to drive the coaches crazy.
And they'll get it fixed. They absolutely will. Yeah, it's the first game. You expect some things like that. You expect some fumbles. You expect some serious mistakes.
And unlike our opening game last year, we're playing a team that is a conference member that is very competitive, who has excellent athletes, and they're doing an outstanding job today, Western New Mexico.
This is also their coaching staff's second year.
Coaching staff's second year,
and
yes.
As I mentioned before, this is the best-looking Western New Mexico team I think I've seen over the last 4 years. So they've got this program moving in the right direction.
2nd and 20 for the Falcons from their own 44-yard line. Fake handoff to Corey Harris. Now they're going to do the same play again.
Yep.
And Cooley catches it. The defensive back is saying he did it again. And Cooley's just walking off because he caught that ball, and it's down to the 19. So that's going to be about a, 20, 30, 35-yard reception?
Yeah, and if you're going to put Cooley in single coverage, yeah, absolutely. Just run it again.
They're just going to go to Cooley time and time again.
Why not?
1st and 10 for the Falcons at the 26-yard line of the Mustangs.
Oh, they reset the ball.
No, they reset the ball.
Okay.
Cooley the near side, running back to the right of the Graham, wing back to the right far side. There's going to be a handoff, fake handoff, and that's going to go to the far corner, and that's going to be one-handed caught by the wide receiver. Unfortunately,
Deion.
number 14, Deion Cook.
But it was out of bounds.
Caught out of bounds.
But not only did he one-hand catch it, he caught the nose of the football with his palm.
Yeah. Wow. You don't see that every day. Those are some big hands. Wow. Don't want him to get his hand around your throat, that's for sure.
Wow.
2nd and 10, ball on the 26 of the Mustangs. There's going to be the handoff. Corey Harris, he's going to come to the near side, and he's going to get about a yard before he's tackled. And that's going to be number 44 as the defender.
44 is Ryan Holscher, who read that the whole way.
He did an excellent job.
Yeah, the Mustang defense read that the whole way and was exactly where they needed to be.
So 3rd and 10, ball still on the 26-yard line, so no gain given to Corey. 2 wide receivers on the near side, 2 to the far side. Harris to the right of Graham. Ball is on the near hash mark. There's a snap. Graham looking back. He's looking downfield, waiting for things to develop. There's a wide receiver wide open at the 12, and he's caught the ball. He's come back downfield and now trying to turn around and get advantage. Nope. That he was down. And that was Traylon Sewell.
Was that Traylon Sewell? And a late
14.
flag. 14 is Deion Cook.
The Deion Cook, sorry. Mm-hmm. Goodness, I'm embarrassing myself there, folks. Sorry about that.
There's just a little curl route in there, and Deion Cook grabs it. He retreats a little like Cooley did earlier this game and still makes it across for the first down. But let's see what the late penalty flag is. A lot of late after the play dead ball penalty flags today, and the Falcons are backing up.
Wow. What's the call?
After the play, dead ball.
We can't have that, man. We cannot.
And he actually didn't give the hand signal for any particular penalty, but
dead ball.
The first down will count because it happened after the play, and I think if I was reading lips correctly, it was number 77, Ramon Diaz.
Yeah,
Ramon Diaz.
Yeah, left guard.
But it'll be first down, just back at the 29-yard line.
Now Ramon is from El Paso, Franklin, and his dad was an all-conference offensive lineman for Western New Mexico when he played ball.
He's a huge guy.
He is. There's a quick pass out to Cooley here to the flat near flat from Dylan Graham, and Cooley's going to pick up about 8 yards. So it's going to be second.
Yeah, 2nd and 2.
2nd and 2 from the 21-yard line near hash mark. Brock Johnson tight end on the near side. Now we got a flag. What they call the timeout? Timeout, Western New Mexico. We'll take a quick break, come back on the other side. We'll take a 30-second break. This is Texas Permian Basin football on 95X.
Don't just earn a degree, make an impact. At the University of Texas Permian Basin, you can earn your master's degree for free. To meet the shortage of behavioral health professionals in West Texas, we're covering tuition and mandatory fees for graduate students in clinical psychology, counseling, and social work. When you study an impact major at UTPB, your passion becomes your purpose and your paycheck.
You've got help here, number 31. He's going to get you. You got number 11 up there, also number 30.
And we're back at Ratliff Stadium, ladies and gentlemen. Mon Montgomery, Ben Farmer bringing you all the action here for Texas Permian Basin Falcon football. And the score is 21-3 Falcons with 4:08 left in the third period. We want to remind you that this game broadcast content is copyrighted presentation of West Texas Radio Group, all rights reserved. And we want to thank our game sponsors, Diamond Pump and Transport and Exclusive Assurance Services. Thanks to both those companies for making this possible on 95X. Also, the Coaches Show will be next Thursday night. We're broadcasting that from the studio in Midland of 95X, and that'll be at 6:30. That's a 30-minute show with Coach Chris McCullough. And then that will be repeated next Friday night at 9:30 on Fox 24. And then after next Thursday night, the Coaches Show will be seen after the Friday night college football broadcast on Fox 24. So you get a chance to see Coach McCullough and hear what he's got to say twice before a game. And we appreciate Fox 24 partnering with 95X to get that done. Ben?
Well, it's football season. and that's exciting. And the Falcons doing a good job here. I mean, with a comfortable lead right now. But this is not the same team that we blew out 56-3 or whatever last season.
No, it's not. They've got some really good athletes over there. So it's going to be 2nd and 3. There's going to be a snap, and Graham's going to keep the ball, and he's going to go off left tackle. And no, he's down. He's down. He should have the first down. He got a pickup of about 4.
So Graham did lose the ball, but he was well after he hit the ground. And the line judge who was right next to it was already pointing on the ground. Now he was down. So now the question is, did he get the first down?
He did.
Okay.
So it's going to be 1st and 10 from the 19-yard line. So the ball's on the near hash mark. Two backs in the backfield. Brock Johnson is a fullback to the left of Dillon. Corey Harris behind the quarterback. And it's going to be a fake handoff. Graham is going to run to his right. And the intended receiver out in the flat was 0. That's going to be Laquan Wells.
I think that was the first bad pass I've seen Dillon Graham throw today. He did a play action to the left, was rolling to his right. Receiver was open, and he just missed him that time.
So it's going to be 2nd and 10 from the 19. There's 3:30 left to go in the third period. Falcons up 21-3. Not in any hurry. Burning clock. Brock Johnson wing back behind the right tackle. Wide receiver the near side to the far side. Now it's going to be handoff Corey Harris. He's going to try to go up the middle, and he is stymied immediately, Ben.
They have not had any luck with this play so far this half. If there was one play that was diagrammed for the defense during halftime, it was this one, because they have stood up and shut it down so far.
44, Ryan Tenhulser on the tackle for the Mustangs. So 3rd down, 3rd and 10. 3:03 left to go in the third period. No win. Falcons going right to left on your radio dial, south to north. 3 wide receivers the far side, 1 on the near side, ball on the near hash mark. There's going to be the snap. Graham looking downfield coming here, and there is a wide open wide receiver, Laquan Wells, and he did not get his feet in bounds as there was a mix-up in the secondary, and Laquan had that ball but fell out of bounds.
He sure did, and Dillon Graham had all day to throw this ball to. A good job by that offensive line up there. And he places it where only his receiver could have gotten it, but he had a little tippy toe on the line.
So now it's 4th and 10.
It sure is.
And we're going to go for it.
We sure are.
Nope.
No, we're not.
He's going to send Angel Diaz, the freshman from DeSoto. Former DeSoto Eagle coming out. It's going to be Grant Gensimer as the deep snapper, Gunnar Absek the holder. And Angel has been 2 of 2 so far today in field goal attempts. That's right, isn't it?
That is right, yeah.
Snaps out. Ball's down. Kick is up.
Ooh. Okay.
And that is good. So another 3 points for the Falcons. So that makes our score 24-3. As Angel Diaz, a true freshman, has gotten 3 field goals today. What a great weapon to have. And we're going to take a break and be back on the other side in 30 seconds. This is Texas Permian Basin Falcon football on 95X. Back in 30.
I'm not going to have a penny of debt in my name when I graduate from this university.
Everybody's in your corner. They want to see you succeed.
With Falcon Free at UTPB, you can earn your degree for free. No loans, no debt.
UTPB was the best fit for me financially.
If your family makes $100,000 or less, your tuition and mandatory fees are covered.
Here you are part of the family.
Learn more at utpb.edu/FalconFree.
Awesome. And we're back at Ratliff Stadium. Monty Montgomery, Ben Farmer, and 2:41 to go in the third period. And the Falcons just kick a field goal. Third one of the day for true freshman Angel Diaz of DeSoto, Texas.
Oh, so
played for Coach
football.
Mathis. He's played some serious high school football. And, he understands pressure. 24-3, the Falcons with the lead. And now we're going to have the kickoff here momentarily. But overall, Ben, I got to tell you, it's the first game, heebie-jeebies, whatever you want to call it. We've had some penalties that you just kind of scratch your head, but you expect those. The Mustangs have been very, very competitive. They've got an excellent ball club. I think they're going to make some noise. I'm going to say this early here in the second half for the rest of the season. And the Falcons will have a chance to get things cleaned up before they go on the road to Colorado State Pueblo next week. And the best improvement of a team usually during the season is second and third week, right?
That's exactly right. And you see some improvement between the first and second week, too. And quite frankly, we're going to need to see some improvement because that team up in Pueblo is no joke.
Well, and they're celebrating their 10th anniversary of their national championship.
Oh, great. And we get to visit them.
Well,
it's going to be beautiful, though.
Oh,
right?
It is. You know, at one time, we used to do everybody's homecoming, even in our own stadium. I'm like, why are they having homecoming in Odessa? This is not right.
Well, we ruined some homecomings last
We
season.
have. We dang sure did. Yep. And you never got the bouquet.
Oh, well, I figured it out.
Isn't that a corsage? What is it at homecoming? It's been a while.
No, it's the big giant.
The mum.
Mums, exactly.
Well, thanks for not getting me one. I appreciate that. That would have been a little awkward.
Well, it's not homecoming yet, Monty.
Well,
you never know.
Then I'd feel obligated to get you one, and then it'd just be a whole thing, and Katzum would get involved, and it would just be a wreck. We'd leave him out, and they'd just pout. All right, here's a kick by Rafael Vargas, and it's going to go to the deep back here on the near side, and he's going to go upfield. He's at the 20, and he's going to get hit immediately at the 23-yard line, and that's going to be 35 on the tackle, Ben.
Eric Franco.
Yeah, Eric Franco, good to see him out there, and number 7 was the returner, and that's Jevin Dorsey, who is a defensive back when he's not returning the kick.
Oh, he's a wide receiver when he's not returning the kick. He's been out there playing some good wide receiver. But
well, again, I apologize, folks. He's on the offense.
You're
right.
Here's the thing, though. Our secondary, which we thought was maybe the best unit on this team, is our secondary.
Yep.
So we haven't called a lot of wide receiver names throughout this game today.
Nope.
Haven't called a whole bunch of them.
No, we haven't. 1st and 10 for the Mustangs at the 25-yard line. There's a snap. Going to give it to the running back. That's going to be number.
It's bound to be Levy again, isn't it?
Oh.
Or Levy. I think we've said his name 4 different ways.
4 different ways.
It was not. That was Jamon Chambers.
1. Yes. And he picked up maybe 1, so it's going to be 2nd and 9.
And it was a hard-fought one, too.
2:13 left to go on the third. Falcons up 24-3.
Falcons are defending these runs with a 3-man front as well.
Yep, doing a 3-3-5 stack. There's going to be the snap, going to go to the running back. He's trying to get around the far side, and there's Jalen Rockamore, knocks him off his trajectory, and he's going to end up picking up 1 as he's extremely quick, but that was Kendrick Jones that knocked him out of bounds over there.
Watch this replay. Tristan Exline takes an excellent angle and just whiffs on the tackle, but he is in the backfield as well as Jalen Rockamore, and we got
a Falcon down.
We do, over on the sideline.
Can't see the number. Goes Tom, the trainer.
And it looks like he might have just got the wind knocked out of him. Something like that is so miserable.
It is.
That is so miserable.
It is a miserable experience. So we've got an injury timeout. Why don't we take a 30-second break and be back on the other side? This is Texas Permian Basin Falcon football on 95X.
Dear Texas, we know how much you love brisket. We got you. We took mouth-watering brisket, slowly pit smoked for 12 hours, and combined it with your favorite queso and pico. And so, H-E-B Brisket Queso was born. Because that's how we express our love. Looks like you got the message. Brisket Queso, to Texas with love, from H-E-B.
And we're back at Ratliff Stadium in Odessa, Texas. Monty Montgomery, Ben Farmer, 1:38 left to go in the third period. Falcons up 24-3. Jamarian Ravenel, the player that was down, but he got up and left the field under his own power.
Yeah, wind knocked out of him, hit his funny bone, something.
Yeah.
It's not a big injury, I don't believe.
3rd and 9 for the Mustangs. There's a snap, going to throw the ball over the middle. He's trying to turn up field, and he's not going to be able to do it, the wide receiver that caught that. And that, you got to be really brave. That's going to be 24 to do that pass over the middle with those linebackers.
Yeah, there's Lance Lawson again. Yeah, just coming straight over the middle of the field right there. Falcons had a late blitz that time, and, so they threw it correctly to the correct spot where the linebackers should have been. But the whole cauldron of Falcons just swarmed. It's a different Falcons defense out here in the second half.
It's hard to imagine that this defense is actually better than defenses we've had before because they've been outstanding, but this one may be it. So now we're going to punt. There's a snap, ball's up. Oh, kind of line drive punt. Gunnar Absek's going to let it go out of bounds at about the 38, 39, 40-yard line. So the 40-yard line of the Falcons will be in business, 1st and 10.
That referee kept walking. I thought he was going to stop at the 35.
I did too.
He kept on walking. Well, we'll take the extra yardage there, as it was just a line drive, a perfect spiral off of the punter's foot, but a line drive. You don't see those two things go together very often.
No, you do not. You do not. So it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Falcons from their own 40-yard line. They're scored 24-3 with 37 seconds left in the third. 2 wide receivers to the far side, 1 to the near side. Wing back to the far side. There's going to be a handoff to Corey Harris. He's going to bust through the hole, and he's going to get it to 50, and he's down to the 45. That's a 15-yard pickup by the running back, Corey Harris.
Big yardage up the middle as those big hog mollies are moving folks around. Corey Harris just jumps out one hole and doesn't get touched to the secondary.
Tempo offense, going to hand off to Corey again. He's in a rhythm. He's going to come here to the near side. They've got him strung out, and they don't let him get to the line of scrimmage. He's going to lose about 1 yard.
Mustangs might have gotten away with a face mask there on that one, too. I thought they got a little grip of it. But, yeah, strung him out to the sideline and lost a yard.
So now it's going to be 2nd and 14. 2nd and 11. That's going to be the end of the third period. So we're going to go to the fourth period here shortly. We're going to take a 30-second break and be back on the other side. This is Texas Permian Basin Falcon football on 95X.
Rosa's Cafe's breakfast takes me back to those early mornings. The smell of fresh homemade tortillas filling the air. The warmth of my mother's kitchen wrapped around me like a hug. Rosa's is a taste of home, a reminder of the love and tradition that went into every dish. Taste the authentic flavors of a Rosa's Cafe breakfast. After all, life is better with Rosa's Cafe.
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen, here at Ratliff Stadium. Monty Montgomery, Ben Farmer, as the Falcons are in their initial contest of the 2024 season in defense of their 2023 Lone Star Conference Football Championship. And we've got the final 15 minutes of this contest with the Falcons up 24-3. It's been beautiful at times. It's been a little ugly at times, as you would expect for the first game. But overall, the Falcons have started to dominate this contest here in the second half, and would expect that to continue on in the fourth quarter, Ben.
Falcons already with 434 yards of offense. Mustangs with only 101. So this defense for the Falcons being as stingy as predicted. But look on down the list here, 11 penalties for the Falcons for 125 yards.
Yikes.
I bet Coach McCullough has something to say about that.
Well, there'll be some conversations, a little conversation here and there about that. Yes, sir. So 1st and 10 for the Falcons. There's going to be the snap. Graham's going to, quarterback keeper, is going to be off right tackle. He's turning upfield. He's at the 40. He's down to the 35. He's going to get down to about the 33-yard line, and he's going to have a first down, and the Falcons are in business.
You know, we were saying Kenny Hernser might be the better of the runners, but Dylan Graham looking very comfortable running the ball today. Looks like he's got some speed, making some cuts, making people miss.
I bet Dylan has put on 25-plus pounds of muscle.
I think you're right.
And he is very durable and very thick and very deceptive. There's going to be a pass, and that's going to go to the far flat, and that's going to be Ben Patterson on the reception.
Patterson having to go down to his shoelaces to grab that one just for a little short gain of about 3.
That'd have been a pitch. It would have been a sinker.
Yeah. The old 12-6.
So 2nd down for the Falcons, 2nd and 7. Ball's on the 31-yard line of the Mustangs on the far hash mark. There's going to be the snap. Graham's going to drop back to throw it. Oh, my gosh, he throws it into traffic, and I thought that was interference as the defensive back got to Laquan early. Laquan thinks so, too, pleading his case, but to no avail.
I thought so, too, actually, but, yeah, no flag thrown on that one. And ultimately good defense. You know, if they don't throw the flag, that's good defense.
Good defense. So it's going to be 3rd and 7 for the Falcons. 3 wide receivers near side. Dylan takes the snap, starts rolling to the right, and there is, oh my goodness, that's a great defensive play there.
Speaking of good defense, Clayton Zentner out there along the edge in single coverage just jumps the route and able to get one paw out there and knock her down.
Cooley catches that. He might have gone all the way to the end zone.
Well, especially with the way Zentner jumped it, too.
Cooley tapping his chest saying, that's on me.
Mm-hmm.
So now it's going to be 4th and 7, and the Falcons are going to go for it. Why not? They're at the 31-yard line of the Mustangs. 14 minutes left in the fourth period, pardon me.
Yeah, old Chris McCullough, coach, grew up playing Madden football and NCAA football video games, and, yeah, you go for it in this situation.
2 wide receivers on the near side. There's going to be the snap. There's going to be the throw to the far side, and that's going to be short, I believe, and that was to – I think it's
Laquan. Laquan Wells out there. He stopped his route at the stick, but had to come back to the ball.
Yep, so that's going to be a turnover.
Turnover on downs right there. It's our first turnover of the game. Yeah, first turnover at all.
At all.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be 1st and 10 from the Mustangs from their own 20 – well, call it the 25. Ball will be on the far hash mark. 2 wide receivers on the near side, 1 on the far side, running back in the backfield with the quarterback, Magana. Falcons still in a 3-3-5 stack.
I imagine we'll see that the rest of the way.
There's a snap, going to be a quick throw to the far flat, and the receiver is tackled almost immediately by Tristan Exline, and that's number 1, the running back.
That's Jamon Chambers.
Jamon Chamber. Tristan Exline getting his first start. Well, he started the game last year when Hayden was hurt, but he got his first start of the year, and he has had an excellent game. He and Jalen both. Rockmore.
You know, you wonder when you lose someone like a Hayden Kelly to graduation what the next guy up is going to look like, and X-Line looks excellent.
All that was advertised. Oh, my goodness gracious. There was a vicious tackle, and that is Frank going, Jalen Williams back there, and Mr. Magana is going to have a chant with his offensive line and go, we really shouldn't allow that to happen again. Those guys are not very polite.
No, Frank just getting right around the left tackle there, McCarthy. And, I mean, that's a lot of dude coming at you.
That's a lot of guy. So it's going to be 3rd and 19 from the 15-yard line. 2 wide receivers on the near side, man in motion on the far side. Now we got to check with me. Coach is changing the play. Now we're calling a timeout.
Yep. Mustangs call a timeout there.
So with that, let's keep it here, Matthew, so that we can talk a little bit again. We want to remind you that this game broadcast content is a copyrighted presentation of West Texas Radio Group, all rights reserved. And our game sponsors are Diamond Pump and Transport and Exclusive Assurance Services. Make sure if you know these folks, you feel compelled, give them a call and tell them thank you for bringing this broadcast to you. We greatly appreciate them sponsoring Falcon football this fall. Ben, so far, what do you think?
Kind of what we expected. A little sloppy in the first half. They've cleaned up a lot of the sloppiness here. These wide receivers for the Falcons just really can't stop them. And as long as Dylan Graham has time to throw it to him, which he has had time to throw it to him, they just can't be stopped. So, but what's quietly taking over in the front of my mind is this defense. This defense is extremely stingy. And it's not just 1 or 2 players. It seems like they work well as a unit together, or they have been at least here today, especially in the second half. And look, Monty, I don't know, with the loss of yards on that sack, the Mustangs probably don't even have 100 yards total for the game.
Well, Coach McCullough said in his radio show Thursday night, and then in conversations with you and me at lunches that we've had, that this defense could be one of the top 3 in the country. And right now, they've got good athletes at Western New Mexico. They've got good quarterbacks, good receivers. And so far, knock on wood, this defense is holding its own right there with the 3 points. There's going to be the snap back to Magana. He's under pressure. He's trying to get out of the way. He finally eludes the defender, and now he's running downfield. He's at the 20. He's at the 25, and he's going to get tackled as the secondary and linebackers collapse on him. And that's going to be 4th down. And how many yards is they going to give him now?
Like 12, I think.
12 yards, but he's going to still have about 7 yards to go.
And just out there running for his life. Magano doing everything he possibly can to get away from
helping
that rush.
His team.
Mm-hmm. Putting the team on his back and doing what he can. But
I didn't see who made that tackle, but there was a whole bunch of Falcons over there. Whoops, we've got a little disarray here in the defense. We've got a lot of confused. They need to call a timeout, Coach.
And they did.
They did, thank goodness, because it looked like a jailbreak there on the defense as they were trying to switch people in and out.
I think they had the punt return unit out there, and then they realized, we need the actual defense out here. But it didn't get it switched around in time. So it's going to be fourth down.
So, Ben, what do you see that needs to be addressed before next week?
The penalties. That's really it. The penalties, usually I would come around and say, well, this unit, the linebackers or something, are not taking the right angles, or the defensive line is not moving well together. That's not the case. Every unit has looked good. It was just a little bit sloppy in the first quarter even, not even really the first half. And then the penalties. You're not going to be able to get away with, 14 penalties for 140 yards against San Angelo State or against Pueblo, against them next week.
Central Washington.
No. So, all in all, for the first game of the season, very good showing.
I agree. So, fourth down, and they're going to go for it, and they are at their own 27-yard line, the far hash mark. And they're not going to quick kick. They're going to actually try to get the ball down the field, and the quarterback's hit as he's throwing the ball, and that ball goes errant. And you got to wonder if perhaps I think I would have punted.
Well,
and I'm not a coach, but you just gave a very powerful offense a great field position.
But you're running at a time anyways. So, and you're down by 21. So
what do you got to lose?
You're down to 2 more possessions probably, maybe a third possession.
Okay.
So you got to start putting points on the board right now. So that was the gamble, and it just didn't work out.
And I'm not questioning the coach. That's not my intent. It's just, strategic football here. What would you do?
Mm-hmm.
So 1st and 10 for the Falcons on the 27-yard line of Western New Mexico. And there's Graham right over the middle to Brock Johnson, and he pulls it in, and he caught it.
In traffic.
In traffic, Brock Johnson, the tight end, and he just scored his first touchdown of the year with a flag on the play.
And there was another late flag. Brock Johnson goes up. What a great throw Dylan Graham just made in between three different defenders.
Threaded the needle.
And Brock Johnson, a brave catch, too, because that's one where you got guys coming to earhole you from both sides. And they did, in fact, do that, and I wonder if that's not what the call is going to be.
Outstanding play.
And I like that. Right after a turnover, there's a turnover on downs, but go to the end zone. I've always been a fan of that.
Well, remember 2 years ago, Zubiotti got hurt in one of the final scrimmages before the fall. Brock came in, and he was one of the leading tight ends in Division II football in the nation. And then last year, Zuby came back, resumed his role. Brock, very, very great teammate, accepted his role as the backup or working with Zuby, and now it's his time, and that right there is an exclamation point on his career here in the first game, I think. And there'll be more of that to come.
Oh, no. That's ineligible player downfield.
Targeting.
So ineligible player downfield by the Falcons, but targeting by the Mustangs. That player is disqualified. And those are going to be offsetting penalties, so we'll just replay the down.
That's going to be 25.
25 is Ruben Gamboa for the Mustangs, who is ejected from the game for the targeting. But ultimately the big loser on that play is the Falcons, who have to give up a touchdown.
Well, and Brock Johnson, who got ear-holed and didn't get his touchdown.
Right.
That's really going to make him an unhappy human being.
So they're going to go check, because we are in the second half, they're going to check out that targeting penalty and just confirm it over there. Why don't we take a little break while they do that?
All right, let's take a 30-second break. Be back on the other side. This is Texas Permian Basin Falcon football on 95X.
It's overused, abused, taken for granted. The word free. At First Basin, when we say free checking with instant issue debit card, we stand behind it. So if you're like me, and no one really is, it might be good to see if your bank is hiding the word fee in free. Time for a new bank? You're going to like coming in first. First Basin Credit Union. Experience superpower.
Member NCUA and Equal Housing Lender.
We're back at Ratliff Stadium in Odessa, Texas. Monty Montgomery, Ben Farmer, as the Falcons just scored. Ben, I just hate that for Brock Johnson because that was a 27-yard pass and catch, and traffic, 3 defenders surrounding him had their hands on him, and then he got targeted, hit in the head, and they're going to disallow it because we had an eligible receiver downfield, and now they're going to review as they do targeting calls to make sure that was the case. If this is upheld, then the Western New Mexico player will miss the first half of next week's game. Against Adams State, I believe, is that who they play at home.
Okay, yeah, and they do that for a good reason. Those, the concussions that were happening throughout the entire history of football until the last decade, till they started putting these rules in, absolutely detrimental to a football player's health. So, whereas at first when they put these rules in, I didn't care for it. I have to say, I didn't care for it. I thought, well, it's taking some of the toughness out of the game, but no, that was the correct move.
Here comes the call. And we apologize, folks. We've not been able to patch into the referee's mic.
They're getting rid of the – okay.
No targeting foul. So an eligible receiver will stand against the Falcons. So the Western New Mexico player will be returned to the field.
And there he comes. So
it's going to be first and 15 for the Falcons.
And I did not see the ineligible receiver downfield.
I did not because I was watching Brock downfield.
Mm-hmm. So instead of a touchdown, it's going to be first and 15 from the
32.
Okay, there you go.
Ball's on the far hash mark. 3 wide receivers near side. Running back to the right of Graham. He's going to go play action coming here to the near side. He's going to throw the ball away as good coverage by the Mustang secondary. Maybe the best coverage they've shown all day.
Totally agree. That everyone was covered, and they had an extra guy back there. So, yeah, good job by that Mustangs defense. And a good job by Dylan Graham. That's the correct decision. Nobody was open. Don't force it. Throw it out. Live to fight on second down.
And that's it. Don't put yourself at risk. Don't try to do things that are just not going to get where you want to go. Let's start over and do it again.
Yeah, you don't need to head towards the goal line and do the John Elway helicopter dive.
Yeah.
When you're leading by this much.
So second and 15 from the 32-yard line of the Mustangs. Running back in motion here to the near side. That's going to be a screen pass. It's going to be a flea flicker. That's Laquan Wells. Now he goes back to the other side, and he's got a wide receiver open in the flat, and he's going to catch the ball, and he's going to step out right before.
That was Dylan Graham.
Dylan Graham, the wide receiver on that play.
That play, Laquan Wells started at the running back position, went in motion. They snapped the ball. Dylan Graham throws it behind him to Laquan Wells. Wells is pulling up, trying to hit someone in the near side end zone, can't find anyone, scrambles around, breaks a tackle, holding the ball like a loaf of bread, and then finds Dylan Graham open in the left flat for a pickup of 9.
So it's going to be 3rd and 1. There goes the running back up the middle, and that's going to be, I believe that's Corey. Yep, Corey.
And I'm sorry, it was a pickup of 14 on the previous play because they were at 2nd and 15.
Right. So that's going to be a first down.
First down here.
So 1st and 10, the ball on the 14-yard line for the Falcons at the far hash mark. It's going to be tempo. Wide receiver on either side. Graham quickly looks up, throws the ball to a post running wide receiver, and he cannot get it to him, and that's Laquan.
Yeah, I threw it a little bit high and away. A dangerous throw right there. An incomplete pass. But, yeah, Laquan Wells at full extension in the middle of the end zone, cutting across the field.
So 2nd and 10 from the 14 of the Mustangs. We've got 2 wide receivers on the near side, Brock Johnson in the wingback position behind the right tackle. There's the snap. Going to fake the handoff. It's going to go to Laquan here to the flat, and he's going to get about 3 yards. So it's going to be 3rd and about 4. And the Falcons need to get to the 5-yard line for a first down.
Falcons in no hurry right now. Trying to get the right personnel on the field. Gunnar Absek coming in.
So Gunnar in the slot. So 1 wide receiver to the near side, 3 wide receivers to the far side in a triangle. And there's going to be, a blitz, and Graham trying to get out of trouble, and he's got to throw the ball away as he was about to get pummeled.
And he actually stepped out of a couple of pummelings there, too, and got the ball out of his hands.
McCullough wanting a flag for some reason. It's not going to happen. So Angel Diaz going back out to try his 4th field goal. The freshman from DeSoto. He's 3 of 3 so far, so it'll be out of the snap of Grant Gensimer and Gunnar Absek's hold. Gunner's got those really thick, those intense gloves, I guess is what I'm trying to say, and he's got to peel those off so he can get his ball holding duties taken care of. There's a snap. Kick is up. It is good. And that is another 3 points for the Falcons. So that's going to be 27-3 Falcons with 9:26 left to go in the contest as UTPB on the brink of winning their first game of the 2024 season in their first conference game. We're going to take a break, come back in 30 seconds. This is Texas Permian Basin football on 95X.
It's overused, abused, taken for granted. The word free. At First Basin, when we say free checking with instant issue debit card, we stand behind it. So if you're like me, and no one really is, it might be good to see if your bank is hiding the word fee in free. Time for a new bank? You're going to like coming in first. First Basin Credit Union. Experience superpower.
Member NCUA and Equal Housing Lender.
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen, here at Ratliff Stadium. Monty Montgomery, Ben Farmer, and it is the University of Texas Permian Basin Falcon football team show as they are up 27-3. 4 of those, 4 field goals for the freshman kicker, Angel Diaz of DeSoto, Texas. We've got 9:26 left to go, Ben. What do you do from here?
Just more of the same. You're going to play that same three-man line defense and just try to hold on to things. If there's one nitpickety thing I might say, and this is very nitpickety, a lot of field goals that really could have been touchdowns. And that's going to get it done against this team. But when you're playing later in the season at Bemidji State, you're playing Angelo State, West Texas A&M, really got to get into the end zone. You really don't want to be having to kick more than 2 field goals a game if you can help it, of course.
Well, thank goodness Angel Diaz has had the success he's had because he has had 12 points.
Yeah,
but
right.
Yeah, we like touchdowns.
Yeah, and 27 points is good. But remember, we were averaging 43 points a game last season.
Right.
So, this is a different defense that we're up against. And
this is an incredibly improved team at Western New Mexico.
Absolutely, I've been very impressed by them, and just how hard they have fought in here. And again, that's a very nitpicky criticism that I've got there, but not a lot to criticize out of this game.
Rafael Vargas to kick off. Well, Western New Mexico is going to sneak up on some people.
Absolutely.
There they have the ball, and he's at the 20, the 25, he's at the 30, and gets down to about the 33-yard line, and that's the running back number 1.
Yeah, Jamon Chambers.
Jamon Chambers, who took that kickoff back. So it's going to be 1st and 10 for Western New Mexico from their own 33-yard line.
It's a good return.
A good return. So they're going to have the ball at the far hash mark. It's going to be 3 wide receivers on the near side, running back to the left of the quarterback, Magana. Again, the Falcon defense is in a 3-3-5 stack. There's going to be the snap. It's going to come this side. The quarterback now puts his foot and tries to turn up field, and probably going to regret that as he runs into the Falcon defense, and that's, again, number 22, Yemi. Oyesanya. And that wasn't a pleasant experience.
Yeah, it was a bootleg left, a flood concept over on the left side, and the quarterback thought he had something to cut back into, and he just cut back into about 1,500 pounds of dudes.
So 1-yard gain on the play, 2nd and 9 for the Mustangs. They've got triangle formation, wide receivers on the near side, now a man moving to the far side in motion. Quarterback fakes the handoff, play action, and now throws out to the far flat, and they're going to pick up a couple of yards, and there is a flag, Ben, coming from the back judge. And
well defended by Jelani Jefferson there, who played it exactly the way you're taught to. But, yeah, A deep flag coming in, and it looks like the Mustangs are backing themselves up.
Yeah, and that was number 2 on the reception.
Edwin Lacrosse.
Edwin Lacrosse, the tight end. So have we determined what this is?
Personal foul. Blindside block on the offense.
Wow, I didn't see that, Ben, did you?
I did not. When you get things out in the flat like that with a lot of open space, that is kind of when that tends to happen.
All right.
So then the Falcons declined the penalty.
Oh.
Because they'd rather it be 3rd down.
So it's going to be 3rd and 6 for the Mustangs from their own 37-yard line. Check that. Ball on the far hash mark. 2 wide receivers spread out wide here to the near side. 2 on the far side. The wide receivers are in a stack on both sides of the ball. There's a snap. Magana's going to drop back, and he's looking to throw deep. Oh, my goodness gracious. They're not going to call a flag there, are they? Because
I think it was just feet getting tangled up over on the sideline there. I think some feet just got tangled up, and the receiver fell down. And so that's going to bring up 4th down.
Yeah, that Kendrick?
The receiver was Jevin Dorsey out there.
And was that Kendrick Jones over there?
I am not sure who the defender was.
No, it was number 8.
Cameron Lee.
Cameron Lee.
They're going to stick the offense out on the field here on 4th down.
The free safety, Cameron Lee. So 4th down, they're going to go for it again. And he's got a little time. Now he's under pressure. Magana's getting in trouble, and he gets sacked. And that's going to be number 22.
That's Oyesanya.
Oyesanya. And we've called his name a couple of times on this drive. And Yemi is a 6-foot, 250-pound graduate student from Norman, Oklahoma, transfer from East Central. He's a heck of a player.
He sure is.
He's a load, too.
Yeah, a good addition to this team.
So Western New Mexico is going to turn the ball over on downs with 7:59 to go in the contest. And the Falcons will be in business at the 28-yard line of the Mustangs. And we're going to have 5 wide receivers, 3 to the far side, 2 to the near side. Falcons moving left to right on the radio dial. 7:59 to go, 27-3 Falcons. There's going to be a bubble screen to the far side, and that's going to be, I think that's Laquan.
It was Laquan.
And so he's going to pick up about 8, Ben, I think.
It was a good game.
7, 8.
Yeah, it was well blocked out there along the perimeter and well executed.
So 2nd and 2 for the Falcons. The ball is on the 20-yard line. 1 wide receiver to the far side, 2 to the near side, 3 to the near side. There's going to be a bubble screen to this side to Corey Harris. Corey's got the ball. He's down to the 10. He's down to the 7-yard line, it looks like. And that'll be a 1st down for the Falcons as they're still going to start threatening here, getting into the end zone. Corey is so quick.
He really is. And look at him get through. He just quite didn't get the block that he was looking for and still able to pick up an additional 6 yards after contact.
His core strength balance is amazing.
I remember that's what we were talking about last year, his balance and his vision.
1st and goal for the Falcons from the 8-yard line of the Mustangs. Ball on the near hash mark. 4 wide receivers the far side. Man in motion on the far side, 1 to the near side. Graham's got the snap, drops back. There it is, wide open in the middle, and that's going to be Laquan Wells getting his first touchdown of the 2024 season.
Well-designed play once again as that defense just wasn't exactly sure who they were supposed to cover.
Pardon me. Touchdown Falcons, Laquan Wells.
Sorry
there you
about
go,
that,
Ben.
Monty.
That's all right. No, it's okay. It's the first game, buddy.
I was excited
you
by
were doing your job.
The play call. I'd like to look at that play again once I get home because that was just really well designed.
Angel Diaz in for the point after attempt. Grant Gensimer to snap. Gunnar Absek to hold. Snap is down, kick is up, and it is good. And the Falcons have now taken a 34-3 lead at 6:47 left in the 4th quarter. And this game is in hand. Ben, your thoughts?
Yeah, it just looks good. Just everything's looking good, firing on all cylinders right now. And let's not forget, this is a conference game. So usually you get the 2 warm-up, tune-up games before you get to the conference. We're starting right out of the gate with a conference game. and putting it to them right here. 34-3. That's a score that I like a little bit better.
I do. And this is the first, again, if you're just joining us, this is the first conference game the Falcons have ever opened up with since the program started in 2016. And they have shown themselves well. They have kind of created their own issues or their own drama at times. As a matter of fact, drama, if you will. But they have overcome and have a 31-point lead now with 6:47 left to go in the fourth quarter.
Coach McCullough and this whole coaching staff has just done a spectacular job getting these guys ready for the season. And they're going to have a big test next week. Big test.
And recruiting a lot of players that had to replace some incredible guys from last year.
Exactly. How do you replace Kenny Hernser? Well, you go back to the old vet, Dylan Graham, and he's having a great.
Aiden Kelly, Dom Varela, all three All-Americans.
Right.
And we got some guys, man.
Absolutely.
We got some guys. So Rafael Vargas from Oxnard, California to kick off. We've got to go to his parents' house for a dinner.
We should.
Oh, my gosh. I've heard about the food they cook. It's delicious. There's going to be the kick, and it's going to be down to the 1 yard line. He's going to bring it out. He's at the 10, the 15. He's, oh, goodness gracious. And that was, hello, how you doing?
I think that was Tristan Exline, too.
Yep. And that was number 88 that returned the ball.
Oh, no, the big hit right there was from number 16, Datron Brooks. Good to see him back. 88 for them is Gavin Placencio.
All right, so it's going to be 1st and 10 for Western New Mexico from their own 18-yard line. Ball's on the far hash mark. 2 wide receivers the near side, tight end to the far side. Man in motion here to the near side. Quarterback's going to take off on a design run to the far side. Oh, my goodness gracious, he got decleated.
I think that was Ife Current with the tackle.
56.
Okay, I had a different number, but 56 is
Sione
Te'uima. Yeah.
Arlington Lamar grad saying howdy. Welcome to Odessa. And it's going to be 2nd and 7. 6:17 left to go in the contest. 34-3 Falcons with the lead. There's going to be a snap, high snap, going to get it down to the running, but ball's loose, and the Falcon's going to recover it. It's picked up by Falcon, and he is tackled, and that's going to be 21 on.
That's Ife Current.
Ife Current just recovered a fumble, and that could be costly for the Mustangs.
Yeah, that's probably going to put a stamp on it right there. Any hopes of a comeback or they have melted away at this point.
Well, great heads-up play. I didn't see who got the hit. Did you?
I did not.
But there was a thunderous hit on the running back, and the ball just popped out.
Just got a helmet right on the ball, and that just knocked her loose. And good job by Current for keeping his head on a swivel, grabbing that thing up.
So, 1st and 10 from the Falcons from the 32-yard line of the Mustangs, and that's going to be a run play, designed run for the Falcon quarterback. And is that Dylan Graham still in there?
I do not believe so.
That's the other quarterback, Kaupua, who has come from Cisco Junior College, started off at the University of Houston, and so he's getting a chance to get some playing time here in a conference contest.
And a good run on that play, too, by Kaupua.
Hand off to Cam Tyler. Oh, somebody lost their lid, and he got upfield, and he had blockers in front of him, and that's going to be a pickup of about, he got the first down. So it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Falcons. 5:37 to go. Falcons going left to right on your radio dial. Virtually no wind whatsoever this entire game, which is bizarre.
It's incredible.
And after the last 2 nights and the nightmare scenarios they've had here, particularly Thursday night, not as bad last night, but they had game delays in the high school games. This is pretty amazing weather here. Kapua takes the ball, pitches it out to Cam Tyler. Tyler turns it upfield, and he's going to get down to about the 13-yard line as he picked up about 7 on that play.
That's the old 29 wide play right there. I don't know what they call it in their offense, but the long pitch to the outside. And Cam Tyler does a good job turning it upfield, picking up some good yardage.
So 2nd and 2 for the Falcons from the 13-yard line of the Mustangs. Ball on the far hash mark. 2 wide receivers near side, 1 on the far side. Man in motion on the far side. There's going to be a fly sweep. He's going to take the ball. He's going to turn it up the middle, and he's going to fight and claw down the way. And I didn't see the number, Ben. That's going to be.
It's Jawan Mason who carried the ball there.
Number 18.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, Jawan Mason. First time we've called his name.
Yeah, Jawan Mason, 5'9", 165-pound senior from Allen, Texas. He's the Midwestern State transfer.
Okay.
We saw him last year on playing for Midwestern. He had a good game.
That's right.
So here we go. Snap is going to be fake handoff, play action. Now over to Jawan Mason again, and he's going to fight and scramble his way downfield. And goodness gracious, he's going to get down to about the 2-3 yard line. And
ran over a defensive back right at the end.
Did.
Watch on the replay. Just
holy smokes. Ooh-wee. Wow, that's going to be painful tomorrow. So it's going to be 2nd and goal for the Falcons from the, we got discombobulation. What are we doing?
I don't know.
Oh, wait. No, we got a man down. I'm sorry. There is down here on the near side, it looks like a Western New Mexico player who's on the turf. They're going to help him up.
Is that the young man who just got run over?
I'm not sure. I think he's cramping. Number 21. He looks like he's cramping the way he's walking.
You know, this being the first game of the season, usually you see 3 or 4 people go down with cramps.
David Miller.
What a tremendous player that guy is, too. We've called his name several times.
Defensive back. And, he's walking like he's got that cramp. You know that one, folks, you get in your calf in the middle of the night where you're just wanting to wish you had a baseball bat or a sledgehammer to get the darn thing to loosen up because you can't hear anything over your own screaming? Yeah, that's what he's got, and that darn thing won't loosen up for anything.
He's making his way over to the sideline. He's going to be okay. I think you're right. I think it's just a cramp in the lower body there.
Well, it's not as hot, but it's very humid.
Right.
And Western New Mexico's in the desert like we are, and this humidity has just created probably some of those issues.
One of the nice things is the high today was, 82, 84? Yep. Usually it's 112 right now.
Yes.
And so it's been really a very mild summer.
It has.
Summer was very mild. It finally was hitting hundreds pretty regularly in August.
As I got my last electric bill, I wasn't thinking mild. I was thinking some other things, but, I was thinking I had a cramp. So 4:02 left to go here in the fourth period. Falcons up 34-3. It's 3rd and 3 for the Falcons. 3rd and goal, for the Falcons. There's going to be the running back going into the end zone, and that's going to be Corey Harris.
Yeah, and he was untouched going into the end zone there.
Off right tackle.
Yeah, that was just well blocked, untouched. The only reason he fell forward is because he was expecting to get some contact somewhere that never happened.
He was tensed up, geared up for it, and went bursting in there and went, what happened? So Angel Diaz, who's going to need ice tonight, as he's doing another point after attempt. He's already had 4 field goals. It's going to be Grant Gensimer's snap, Gunnar Absack's hold. Angel Diaz, the freshman from DeSoto, Texas. Kick, up and good, and that's going to make the score 41-3 with 3:54 left, and that's going to be, I'm going to say this one's done.
Yeah, this one's done. It was a valiant effort.
No disrespect to Western New Mexico, but it's going to be difficult to come back.
This was a tremendous effort by Western New Mexico. It's not reflecting on the scoreboard. They gave us a lot of problems.
They did.
In the first half.
They did.
A lot of problems. And there's a lot of talent on this team, whereas I don't want to sound disrespectful to past teams, but I don't really remember watching a Western New Mexico game and going, ooh, they've got some talented guys on that. This team has a bunch of talent on it.
Coach Billy Hickman, is in his 2nd year as a head coach, replaced both coordinators. Lost his quarterback, who we'll see next week at Colorado State Pueblo. Lost a lot of his defenders, and they brought some guys in, man.
There's a ton of sophomores. When I was building out the graphics, which I never actually ended up using today, ton of sophomores on this team. So they've got something going.
Yes, they do. So Rafael Vargas to kick off again, and back deep for the Mustangs is the running back, number 1.
That's Jamon Chambers.
And
probably 88.
88.
Yeah, Gavin Placencio. Oh, and he drops
kind of
the
a
ball.
squibber, and he's going to pick up the ball. Oh, my goodness, the run. He's loose, and there's a flag. He's going to be knocked out of bounds, and that's going to be by number 84 for the Falcons. Has got that kick returner out.
Did you say 84 for the Falcons? Jonathan Brown. Sorry, I just realized I didn't use my graphics, so I'm using them.
6'2", 185-pound redshirt freshman from Anna, Texas. And
so the flag's against the Mustangs.
What do you call?
I didn't see. I was looking at my graphics.
I'm going to say a block in the back clip. Actually, so I've seen this one time in all the high school games I was doing. I was in Nebraska, Crete, Nebraska, and they called the team from Grand Island I was covering for a defensive clip. I'd never heard of that.
Huh. I guess it works the same way. If they're already engaged up high, you can't go down after their.
I guess not.
But, yeah, I don't know why a defense would want to. Here's one that you used to see all the time in the 80s. You haven't seen in 20 years. The leg whip.
Yep.
Don't see the leg whip anymore.
3:49 left to go, 1st and 10 for the Mustangs from their own 10-yard line. There's my goodness gracious. And that was number 11.
That's Gary Holmes out there.
Gary Holmes, very large young gentleman. Gary Holmes, defensive line, 6'3", 270 from Travelers Rest, South Carolina Independence Community College in Independence, Kansas.
And he almost knocked the air out of that ball.
I thought he was going to get a field goal, or what do you call that in volleyball, where you
a kill,
a kill. 2 kills, actually. So here we go. There's a snap, going to throw it out here to the near flat to the running back, and he's going to get hit once and finally tackled, and that's going to be number 20 and number 11, Gary. Was that Brown you said?
Gary Holmes.
Gary Holmes,
and
thank
number
you.
20 is Dante Higgins.
Dante Higgins, who is 6'1", 190-pound graduate student out of San Antonio, Madison, the Mavericks, and a transfer from Incarnate Word.
That's a beautiful little campus.
It is.
Seen that.
It is. And that football stadium's really, really compact.
Yep, right there on, I want to say Broadway.
Yep.
Right there on 281,
Broadway. Yep.
something like that.
Yep. So here come the Mustangs. They're going to need 3 yards for a first down. There's going to be a handoff, and the running back just absolutely foot slipped and went down. And that's going to be number 24, Lance Lawson, who had so much torque, his foot slipped out from under him.
The turf monster got him.
So it's going to be 4th and 6, and they are sitting on the punt team.
So this is when they're waving the white flag, and it's the right time to do it. They fought hard. They really should have more points on the board than they do, but this Falcons defense
was smothering. And the punter is in. That's number 92, Braden Biller. There's a flag. I'm going to tell you one thing I do like about tonight. We're not driving back from Silver City.
Yeah.
That is one of the few places I've come back from at night after a game where it seems to get longer the closer you get to Odessa.
Yeah, I agree. Really, the one that I dislike the most is that trip to Midwestern State, because it's not far enough to get a hotel room, but it's just far enough where you get home at 4:30 in the morning. You know,
in Kingsville.
Kingsville, you get a hotel room, so
yeah,
I don't even mess around with that.
485 miles from my house to Kingsville, 515 miles to Silver City, New Mexico, and that spring season of 21, we did that back-to-back.
We sure did. Now, I'm lucky when we go to Kingsville. My mom lives on Canyon Lake.
Oh, there you go.
So I just use it as an excuse to go see Mom.
Do you still take your laundry?
I take all my laundry with me.
Oh, my gosh.
I'll have her do my laundry.
That's great.
And
that's great. No. I may throw in some things.
Yeah, just throw in. We'll go see go see my mom.
In the spring that weekend at Silver City, I froze to death. It was a blizzard. You couldn't see across the field at times. And the next weekend at Kingsville, I got a sunburn.
That's right.
So exactly about right. 6-7 days, it was going, what in the world are we doing? And there's the punt. It's a high spiraling punt. Gunnar Absek's going to let that go out of bounds, and it's going to go out about the 46, 47-yard line of the Falcons. Oh, they're going to say 45. Our score, 41-3, and 2:21 left to go in the contest. Falcons are going to have the ball, and let's see who we got coming out at quarterback. Is that Kapua still?
I don't think.
Yes, it is.
It is, yeah.
It is.
And some new numbers out there, too. Well, Jonathan Brown, I see, is in at receiver.
Yeah. Cam Tyler, the running back. So we're getting some guys getting some reps. And it's going to go to Cam Tyler, and he's going to run it right up the middle. Holy smokes, he is so quick. And he was tackled by number 33.
33 is Ozzie Rigosa.
Yeah, that's going to be a pickup of 8 yards.
Look at that. He doesn't need much room, does he?
He's deceptive. I mean, he just hits the crease and goes. And we're going to have the 2-minute timeout. So we'll keep it here and talk a little bit about next week. We're going to Colorado State Pueblo in Colorado. That's a game that will start 6 o'clock Mountain Time, 7 o'clock hours, Saturday evening. And they're celebrating the 10th anniversary of their national championship in 2014. We've not played them before, and so we're really looking forward to this. This is a school that's had a lot of success in the Rocky Mountain Athletic Conference, not necessarily as much as they've had previously, but still an excellent ball club.
Now, they're in the same conference as Western Colorado.
Western Colorado, Colorado Mines, Colorado Mesa, who beat Kingsville in Kingsville Thursday night. That was surprising. Sul Ross lost to WT Thursday night, 42-21. I thought Sul Ross, what I saw, showed themselves very, very well. They got some guys. They have the highest transfers of any school in Texas.
Is that right?
Yeah, and they went out and got them some guys, and they were very competitive. The WT struggled a little bit. Of course, first game, and no disrespect to WT, but they finally came on. Their guys, they had better guys, and it paid off.
I hear they've got a quarterback over there.
They had a transfer from Kearney State, where Josh Lynn came from.
Okay. Hey, if he's able to start over that young man from
Cannon
Wink,
Williams.
Yeah, that kid was really impressive last year. And if he's not getting the start, then I shudder to think.
Yeah, I don't know the young man's name at WT that's from Kearney.
We'll learn it in a couple of weeks.
There's a snap. Capoa's going to give it to Tyler. Wow. Tyler's going to burst upfield, and goodness gracious, he's going to get the first down and about 10, 12 yards more. So it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Falcons. They're going to mark that at the. They said his knee was down, so they're going to mark it at the 35.
The burst is the right word for that, though, Monty. Once he put his foot in the ground, I mean, he's 5 yards upfield in one stride. It's going to be a fun year, Monty.
It's going to be a fun year.
Last year was fun, but also it was so surprising to everyone.
Well, I'll never forget us in Missouri looking at each other going, what in the world is going on? It was 80-something to 3.
Yeah, a team that blew us out the year prior.
Blew us out the year before, just abused us. And the next week, that team went to Tarleton, went to Stephenville, and darn near beat Tarleton.
How about that?
In Stephenville. And it's just unbelievable. So we took a knee.
Yes.
We're done. It's a minute 6 left. Clock is running. Our final score here will be 41-3. This is what we're going to do. When the clock ends, when the game ends, we're going to go to a 30-second commercial and allow Brandon Ward to get down and grab Coach Chris McCullough and have him share his thoughts with us as the coaches are finally shaking hands and hugging and got this one in the bag. So we'll be able to have that conversation with Coach McCullough, get his thoughts. Then we'll come back and do a post-game show where we're going to bring you some scores from the Lone Star Conference and go from there. And that's going to be the last play as Coach McCullough goes across the field. Matthew, if possible, let's run 60 seconds of commercials.
Yes.
And then that'll give Brandon time to grab Coach McCullough because he's shaking hands with everyone. And so we'll be back in 60 seconds. This is Texas Permian Basin Falcon football on 95X.
Don't just earn a degree, make an impact. At the University of Texas Permian Basin, you can earn your master's degree for free. To meet the shortage of behavioral health professionals in West Texas, we're covering tuition and mandatory fees for graduate students in clinical psychology, counseling, and social work. When you study an impact major at UTPB, your passion becomes your purpose and your paycheck.
Days I haven't shared this with you where I was going. Okay. Would you call Brandon?
have a penny of debt in my name when I graduate from this university.
Everybody's in your corner. They want to see you succeed.
With Falcon Free at UTPB, you can earn your degree for free. No loans, no debt.
And here we are, ladies and gentlemen, back at Ratliff Stadium in Odessa, Texas. Montgomery Ben Farmer. Falcons win the first game of the year, first conference game of the year, 41-3 over the Western New Mexico Mustangs. And we are waiting for Brandon Ward to grab Coach Chris McCullough. And Ben?
Just a great first game right there. It's exactly what you want to see. They overcame some things. A little bit too many penalties. That's an easy thing to clean up. Oh.
Okay, let's talk right now to Brandon Ward.
All right, that was Brandon Ward down at the sideline with Coach McCullough. And I see they were in the middle of the field there, though.
Yeah, so I was looking in the wrong place.
Right.
Hey, see if Brandon will join us again, please, and visit with us about what Coach had to say. And we'll get that fixed, ladies and gentlemen. As let's look at the stats while we wait for Brandon to come up and Matthew helping us out there. Ben, why don't you cover those?
I don't have the most recent stats. I don't.
Yeah, you do.
Do
These
I?
just came in.
Oh, sure enough. All right.
Nicole got those for us.
And slid them in front of me. 557 yards on offense for the Falcons off 91 football plays. That is a lot faster pace. We were looking more like at 45, 50 plays a game last year. 91 plays. And now look at this. The Mustangs with only 118 yards on the game. That defense was absolutely smothering, was the Falcons' defense. Let's take a look over at the passing yards for the Falcons. 420 for young Dylan Graham. I guess not all of them are going to be Dylan Graham because we did have another quarterback in
Mr. Kapua
at the end. But 420 yards, 137 on the ground.
Okay, that'll be great. Yeah, after the band play, it'll be good. We'll continue on here. Let us know when, buddy, please.
And the other thing jumping out at me is these penalty yards. 112 penalties for 130 yards.
Only 4 for 40 for Western.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll get that tightened up.
Yeah, absolutely. Red zone scores 6 for 6 for the Falcons today. A few of those were field goals, however, and we want to see those
4 field goals.
Yeah, we want, and not all of those were red zone field goals though. But we want to see us get into the end zone, like you do. So, anything else jumping out at you that you're looking at there, Monty?
Well, Corey Harris had 21 rushes for 84 yards.